Hey Internet, it has been a bit, but it is time to fully finish Lonetrail, which I'm looking forward to. And I think we are pretty far. We want just to realize it for sure. But yeah, I think we basically left off after the whole building fucking took off into space, baby, and Doctor and Calcite going to cool space wounds and meeting the Observer, which is nice. We did the before story last time, I'm pretty sure. We will not use this. You cannot trust me. I do want us to get through the story, so look at overpowered units instead. Yippee! But yeah, I still don't have... I should really just overall invest into pushers or pullers. Like, I feel like they're always very niche. But hey, it does also sound like sometimes it would be good to have. On the other hand, like, if we keep this permanently up, like, if we keep this permanently up, this ball will go here, right? So we only have to... That all sounds good to me. It sounds like amazing to me. I guess the question is... just do this. Lock this in. It might be a bit spicy. But yeah, this seems pretty neat to me. Dragon also ironically just loops fully around. That's not too bad even then. Okay, I feel like getting stuck in this area is not great for us. But yeah, this should be very straightforward then. Look at this. It does feel nice that I finally have a Chen and Hoshiguma together. Just as nature should be. I guess I can give Silver assists too. It's kinda awkward though for you. Let's just sit with it there. The freeze is still nice. But yeah, I don't think we're at the risk of having any trouble here. Just watch this dragon go. I do like the skill. I also like her skill too. I played a little bit of IS, even if I didn't win. I tried to go for ending 3 finally, but then I got skill issued. Except 4 block, defense resistance reduced when damage is taken. So we basically honestly, so Exo Alder is like perfect for this. Destroy releases traffic officer and self-destructs, dealing physical damage. I mean, probably should also put down Mang or something. I thought he's overpowered. Probably should reduce the game volume a little bit. Maybe do it after the stage. Hi. How do I guess? Kinda doesn't really matter. Just use the skill 3 and now we kill. That's what I've learned. Wait. Who actually... Oh, they did kill my lemon. Ah. That is kind of rude. But yeah, look at you. You have no hope of entering. And the people do just kill over. To be fair, I don't know what the suggested level is, but I don't think it's that high yet. But still, I guess I'll keep repeating this like forever. But I just wish that somehow they would rebalance the normal stages of events. I guess they want to make sure that everyone can do them, even as a newish player, but man. I feel like power creep was a thing. Put this maybe to match. Can I get something with... No? Okay, let's set it for 78. Thank you, Emulator. You. I've been memorizing the basic structure of the central nervous system lately. Over and over again, from top to bottom. Isn't that one of the assignments they give you in intro biology course? Have you seen like how old this man is? He has forgotten. Yes, it's one of the absolute fundamentals. If I had to ask the question to any of my students, should I be stumped for even a second, I would drop their grade down to a C. But I'm different. But these days, I haven't been able to recite it from memory, not even a single time. I keep stopping partway, I keep forgetting. I keep starting from the top, going around in circles. Every morning, I sit from 5 to 7 at a breakfast restaurant across from my headquarters. I give it my best shot. Sounds like you have dementia, my man. My nerves are deteriorating. Everything I studied my whole life is now abandoning me in this moment. Maybe in 5 or even 3 years' time, I become a demented old man, can only bask in the sun, having forgotten all the pride and fulfillment I've enjoyed over the past 58 years. Dementia is like one of the biggest horrors in human existence. Not gonna lie. Must be so horrible to just forget your past and everything. Silence. I refuse to go out like this. Take this gun. Professor? My fate is already sealed. Now, get out of my lab. Don't you dare touch it. No. You speak of Übermenschen and strong souls. People like that might actually exist. People capable of transcending time, limitations, and this very land itself. But Professor, you are no such man. Your words are of the weak medical masses, you Sovitical. They are the desires of a human. Transcending time, limitations, and this land itself. The myths of Minos and Shebek. Gods are the bestowers, masters and deciders of all things in creation. But science is by no means a god. It is just a path for people to traverse. It needs to be examined from time to time, paired from time to time, and reined in from time to time. The fruits it bears should not be the grandiose vision of megalomaniacs, but precisely the mediocre expectations of the masses. No, no! Get away from it, Silence! It's over, Professor. But you need a rest and recovery. After this, I'll take you to the hospital. The transmitter hub has been destroyed. Be it the experiment or Kristen's plans, without the transmitter, there shouldn't be transcending this very land. Yes, perhaps I made another tremendous achievement that even I did not notice. I just happened up on it, without investing much time into it. As a matter of fact, didn't even revise on one of my own projects. It doesn't matter, does it? Of course. Why hadn't I noticed? I've been drawn in by her. In the very beginning, we've always walked the same path. Oldman stares blankly at the display panel. On the monitoring screen, a giant man-made wing suspended atop the sky's zenith is illuminated by the beam of energy gathering within the majestic platinum. Perhaps because the transmitter hub was destroyed. Perhaps because the scouring of the beam was too intense, the hammer starts to shake slightly. Why has the transmitter signal not stopped? Because we increased its range, we're going to space. Let me ask you, Silence, if you have no way of becoming a leader, what shame is there in being a follower? If I admit my weakness and indecisiveness, then it is a perfectly valid option for me to follow a truly strong soul, is it not? Man is already giving up his Ubermensch wish, I guess. This was meant to be my backup plan, but now... What are you doing? I've suffered from mediocrity for too long. I can still catch up to her. She, too, must shine. Okay, let's make some fireworks explode the thing. All my hard work, all of my pursuits, must have meaning. At least, this is much better than becoming a vegetative old man. Energy density is already sufficient, as long as... Professor! Pavish, what are you doing? Science feels the transmitter's influence on her fading. At the same time, the consciousness of the elderly Caprine in front of her is rapidly dissipating. And that transcendent one sets out on her journey. I do hope. On her long path, she won't mind being followed by a timid hitchhiker. At least, I can become a part. Silence. Look. Are you merging your consciousness with the transmitter? To make up for the hoop's distraction? No! But he stayed there. What's going to happen if the phases are thrown completely out of order? How do I stop these responses? Professor! Parvis! This is completely futile. Your consciousness can't be preserved within the transmitter. This transmission will only destroy your nervous system. A faint sigh, perhaps a slight chuckle. How his body has become an empty shell, no longer host to any conscious will. All his attachments, all his cowardice dissipated without a trace. Professor? Within the monitor, the tumbling of the hammer seems to gradually calm down. He completed his experiment in the most unexpected way. No. How could this... Silence! Silence! Silence, are you in here? Hi. So you really were here. Step back, I'm coming in. No idea if it's actually if it made it here? Huh. I finally found you. You had me scared to death, Silence. I saw you snatch the car keys of the soldiers and flew it out of there. I knew you were about to do something really dangerous. This place is crazy scary. Not only is this place crawling with soldiers up above, they even got a real jump scare from that exploding energy beam. Ifrit, why are you... To save you, of course, da! Did you know I learned how to drive? A real shame you didn't get to see my mad skills. With my timing skills, I might even get bumped up to elite up. What's wrong, Silence? Why is Parvis here? Why isn't he moving? I don't know. In the end, he achieved his goal. On the other hand, I haven't really achieved anything. I was thinking, would I have been more decisive? Would I be more determined? How am I supposed to stop people like them? Those powerful, brightly shining souls. By becoming also just a powerful, shining soul and doing your own thing, following your own flow or something. Will I never be able to reach Xavier or Kristen? Stop jerking around already, Silence. Man, your expression. That is the look of just somebody that's dead inside. If it frantically grabs Silence by the collar. This isn't the Silence she knows. You're the strongest one I've ever seen. Osmanus is pretty powerful, and so is Place. All of World's Island's operators have their own special skills. But you're the best out of all of them, Silence. It's because you've done so much for me. So much that to be honest, I don't really know where to start. I pushed through everything. You and Xavier you both overcame it all. I know. What you're trying to do is really huge and really complicated. The guys you're trying to stop might also be really powerful and really hard to deal with. So, that's why you should let more people help you. You have so many helping them out, so should you have to fight all by yourself? Obviously, you have me, and Xavier too. We're here by your side. Silence looks at the kid in front of her. Compared to 3 years ago, her complexion is much more robust. Her body is also stronger, and the entire being pimps with vitality. The girl's health is the product of her own efforts. It's just, when did she get so tall? You're right. You're right. I need to get ready. I have to keep going. And it's because of you. The shaft's output phase may be nearing completion. Won't be safe in this building. Come with it. Let's get out of here. Also, someone's waiting for us to pick her up. As rudimentary a toy as it may be, the spear of a secondary civilization peeking through the sky for the first time was enough to render this nascent world dumbfounded. Dr. Lyra, regardless of how you see yourself today, you'll find you need to hear the truth I speak. Hey, Musty, that's a big eyeball? Yeah, but for some reason that eyeball is speaking. It's like very unrealistic. Like, I don't know what the writers were thinking, but this is a bad video game. What? How are you doing? I chose to forsake my duty. I chose to forsake these lives that I have overseen for nigh immemorial eons. Eons ain't mentioned? Man. Yeah, your kin. And thus, you have the right to know. That is all. I'm doing good, too. I mean, I did get good news today in a sense. I'm a bit overwhelmed figuring out my life choices, but here we are playing Arknights, the one constant in my life. But also my kin. It's been too long. Are the shadows of that civilization still deep within your memories, Dr. Lyra? They're in there. Don't worry about it, we just need more trauma first. Have any fragments floated to the surface? Let's go and squeeze this. Doctor, it seems like there's at least something there. In any case, there's no point in rehashing the grand visions of the past. Trust your imagination, according to whatever impressions still remain. But regardless of what you remember, you ended up with far fewer survivors than you might imagine. It's only you. From great desperation was the Preserver Project born. Specialized support devices, unshakable underground fortresses. When the calamities receded, they would be the seeds of new life. But destruction came sooner and more overwhelming than anyone could have anticipated. For at that time, people had already come up with certain methods. Most of them failed to understand, including she who stands beside you, let alone the blank slate that is you. We are born out of desperation, not fully prepared. Yeah, and this time we will just make sure that nothing happens to Terror. And we won't have to flee for another planet, right? A pure, advanced AI would only increase the risk. So one person made the ultimate sacrifice. This one volunteered to remain permanently trapped in a cage of consciousness in an electronic cloud, forever locked in an immovable sarcophagus deep underground. I see. The consciousness is... as of this moment in every sarcophagus is the person yet to wake up. Correct. But none of them will ever wake up again. I love digitalizing myself before I die. That sounds not like a horror story. Lost ability long ago. Doctor was too slow as a mage. Even though you have no memory of who you are, feel part of your body spasm violently. A dull pain travels from your heart to the palm of your hand. For a moment, the name of this emotion eludes you. Your daily life at Woods Island often making you forget this quantity at the core of your existence. Kin. Doctor. Elsie hesitates to speak. You want her to say something to comfort you. You want her to be as omniscient as she always has been in the past, offering you solutions, answering the questions you've always had. But you see only doubt and sorrow in her eyes. I mean, I assume she might be very scared of what actually happens if the doctor just gets memories back. Right? Sorrow was an uncommon emotion for her. Even less so if that sorrow is for your sake. If you came here only to stop Kristen, turn and leave. Nothing is going to stop us, even if the meaning of her death is itself but a gamble. I've already made up my mind. Come on, we at least can get her back again. I guess the whole space mission was always just a one-way trip, huh? Memory bereft Dr. Lyra and Emma 10 has managed to survive to this point. We have no other responses, then we have nothing more to say. No. No? I need all the information. Imagine all the porn saved in here. We cannot just let this go to ruin. What is it you want then? Do you wish to recover your memories and the truth? Or do you insist on stopping Kristen? You can't accomplish any of it. Amnesia is hardly so simple. It's just being pushed along numbly, thinking you've acquired faith and new ideals. Ignorant hope is but a harbinger of despair. Something we know so very well. Why not enjoy your hard-fought renewed lease on life, instead insist on approaching the truth? You really know anything about this land? The fat from the ocean grows day by day. Yeah, one day I will play the storyline Calcid, don't worry. While the mighty Igerian civilization remains arrogant as ever. It might be powerful now, but you still underestimate the ocean. Though the demons in the hollows deep within Insami's depths show a little tendency to expand. They cannot be ignored. The demons in the hollows in Insami's depths, isn't that just the new IS? I honestly, I will look forward to that. You're like quacks entrenched deep within the ice, presaging a collapse that may occur at any time. But these are only the fringes beyond civilization's soil. You're never the immediate cause of our slain future. Inequality and prejudice war and strife. People are far from understanding the value of unity, fundamentally unable to set aside differences and old grudges to talk about peace and future. Even when Callisto's descended, the cogs of Earth's war machine did not stop turning for a moment. Peasants of Casimir's were not exempted from brutal punishment and taxation. Yippee! Unity is an eternal dilemma. Even today, there are those who cry for the wars of old, but refuse to face the suffering as well as those who died in vain. They may not even be able to see these words. It's too soon, they're still too weak. A few lucid individuals do not represent the entire nation. Columbia will soon cease the desired advantages from Kristen, expand their appetite, extend their hypocritical forks and knives towards Bolivar, Sami, and Sargon. Let's go, it's time for America to colonize the planet. What Kristen did is a far cry from a feat of strength scoping out the future of humanity. Even a slight deviation, and all of this will become but a clarion call for the next round of conquest. Is that what you, Armor 10, Valzit, think of Terra now? Fine then, I understand. The one who has walked with the civilization spawn of this land, your opinion holds of eventual value. And see each of your own reasons for not wishing to budge, then let us test each other using the ancient ways. Punch? Compared to pure rhetorical persuasion alone, we will need some more basal behaviors to elevate your quality and revise the plan. We gonna beat up die, provided you are qualified. I accept. Debate. Allow me to explain in advance that the things you've brought up are not outside my knowledge. Through Columbia's databases, I have heard of this history. But I must reassess whether the two of you have the qualifications, the ability to run discussing larger plans together. Whether or not Terra can remain in the hands of people like you. Whether you have the right to debate the future. Are there any more capable hands than my hands? The time Kristen spent here with me goes beyond language. Hold on, you two. We're about to begin. This place. Let's go, it's Doctor's wife or something, my ex-wife or something. Dr. Liva. You know, there's so many good options here. You really don't remember me. Priestess? No, you're not. Yes. It's the mean wife. I mean, that's why she's the ex-wife or something. This is just her cognitive resonance. Originally, this technology was supposed to be used to check the vital signs of those sleeping in the sarcophagi, or to preserve their dignity. Just like entering your dreams, shaping your dreams. Are you? I am that dream. So you're really just an illusion created by that machine. It was enough, but there's still a fundamental difference. Just as the philosophers and interlocutors did in their palaces of old, when thoughts collide and words are exchanged, recognition intermingles and the boundary between self and non-self blurs. You currently play the role of the Doctor in your dialogue with me. In reality, I'm the one who plays the Doctor, as you are actually me. That is spooky. But your consciousness is continuous. It's not equivalent to the illusion in front of you, or your own image changing. The only word that can describe the sensation is dreamlike. You will not see a cold and passive machine calling itself Preserver, and will not see the helpless and dazed you. It's only in dreams that our subjective perspectives are no longer distinct. Come, don't forget that this man of cognitive resonance has a humorous name. Debate. Man, I'm so good at baiting. Oh, of course, it is your subconscious mind that finds this word humorous. God damn it. know what? Doctor has a point. Push open the door. There remains a question we must resolve. Do we really have to test people in their dreams? No, it's not that I'm trying to test you. By all means, this is not one of Preserver's cryptic question and answer sessions. One of Kal'Tsid's rhetorical traps. The one who will pose this question is Dr. Lyra. Let's see, how smart am I? Silently push the door open. It's Talula, yippee! Do we confront all of our past travels? You, yourself. After losing your memories, you quickly got accustomed to life at Woods Island. You've always known that Kal'Tsid was hiding something from you, but over the years, you've both been overwhelmed by the challenges you face. This even caused you to lose your will to pursue the truth. In other words, your curiosity about the truth ended with Babel. When did you start thinking to yourself, this is fine? No, around the time I did fight you and you put the whole stage on fire, yeah. You really have that same obsession in the bottom of your heart to recover your memories. As more trust was built, certain truths gradually came to light, which even led you to self-doubt. The two of you overcame these difficulties, which is why you're here today. But what about before that? Long before you took Amir's hand in Chernobog. Long before Babel. Who are you? What are you? Where are you going? Great questions. I'm going to grab a burger. Doctor, who are you? I am me. It's not easy. There's something I want to tell you, Doctor. The doctor I place my trust in is one and the same with the doctor who woke up in Chernobog, was thought by our side ever since. What did I believe? So I always believed. In reality, Dr. Kal'Tsid and Favisa. Did we see the commander of Babel and the doctor of Woods Island as the same person? Probably really not, no. I mean, big change in personality for sure. I don't know. I just don't know. I remember it's the doctor who was so kind to me. The doctor who saved me. If the truth really is as Dr. Kal'Tsid says. Amia? Oh, Dr. Kal'Tsid! Doctor's tired and needs rest. There's still much to think about and digest. That whined. She was a spitting fire even in Doctor's dreams. If there's anything else you'd like to ask, come back tomorrow. While Silence still has a long future ahead of us, there's no need to rush. Okay, sorry Doctor. I'm sure I caught you off guard by asking this out of the blue. Actually, I also want to know. Don't dwell on it too much. There's not much time left before we reach the outskirts of Londinium. Excuse me, I already was there. But this is... Next thing on the itinerary is a meeting between of the lead operators, and we'll need you to sit in. Navi, come this way. Why? Chernobog has fallen into an atypical circumstance with regard to the infected. Woods Island, as we are now, cannot afford the risk of getting involved. Doctor will be our indispensable linchpin. Is this one you're talking about with a dozen or more Woods Island lives? If it's worth it, then I'm on board. Even a single operator raises a concern, and count me out. Man, at least Doctor had fans. What? Don't move, Woods Island Commander. Now, there's nothing that white-haired Felian can do. Even if she could kill the captain, if she could kill Patriot, she can protect you. you ever thought about our lives? Have you ever looked at this land from our point of view? Empathy? No, I don't know what it is. Of course not. You don't know a damn thing about the kind of bonds we share. How we said goodbye to our parents. How we've pinned our cheeks with the ashes of our best friends. Killing a reunion fighter. Depriving someone of his life. It's just like checking a box for you. Who the hell do you think you are? Have you ever given a serious thought to what it means for us to live and die? Of course I have. I was sad for some of you people dying. Watch out, Doctor! Wait a minute. You're not always the the main character of this world. Yeah, but there's plenty of side stories. Just like your life, your past. Take a look outside the class pan of PRTS. You can never understand everything, or be everywhere at once. Only those who face the truth deserve to be called courageous. The ridiculous thing is, you don't have the slightest idea of what the truth is. Being kept in the dark, you don't understand, you're frustrated, even angry at your own ignorance. In the end, what more are you than a projection of the pincer beasts in a bucket around you? They all wanted to use you for a measure of consolation. They used you for what they want to obtain. I feel like this scene must have been like hype back in the day, like on release. But yeah, I already know there's something up with the Doctor. To be fair, I think it was kind of obvious even earlier already that, there has to be so much up with Doctor's past. Union members already impaled by black arts point in the direction of those elite operators. But when you follow their fingertips, you see only a few foul beasts flying by. How many among them faced their own destiny? How many more stood behind Woods Island, eventually becoming arrogant overseers? What about you? You think you can completely sever yourself from the past just because you've been shaped by new memories? If you can, how will you reconcile yourself with the new you? I'm just gonna get drunk. Onlookers know nothing about you, yet they want to become you and achieve their vulgar desires through you. You. Let's go. You're truly worthy of trust. Yeah, just because I betrayed you once doesn't mean you cannot trust me ever again, right? You need to be entrusted with such a heavy burden. Saying you don't plan on abandoning your forgotten past might be kind of very funny in the context here. But you know what, I don't plan on abandoning my forgotten past. But if the past does not help me fight for its island, then I can only see it as insignificant. I'm fighting for my daughter. This is not a matter you can decide on so cavalierly, Doctor. Can a colonel be exonerated of his sins just because he lost his memories? A good person loses her memories. Does that erase the good that she has done? I mean, it doesn't really erase the good or the bad, but you also really need to question what actually are you punishing, like, the criminal for? I mean, there's multiple reasons to punish criminals, right? One is rehabilitation that really doesn't work if you've forgotten your whole memory and everything and having a different personality. So yeah. As a deterrent, which I guess would still work, you could still punish the Doctor for the past deeds in that case. I guess. For you in particular, your memories are not so simple. Perhaps you yourself are not aware of what you have lost. What manner of answer, then, are you able to provide? Bingus. Doctor! Hand! Take my... It's my daughter. Take my hand! Then, as the doctor, I will make the correct choice. It's not the memories of the past that guide me, the events from then to now that have reshaped me. I am me, just as I always have been. I understand your thought process. Just as you always have been. Choice words from someone who cannot even recall events from a few years ago. Even when you came to grasp the truth, be it past or present, is it because you simply know it? Not because you remember it, right? You are a completely new person, but don't worry. You're also the version of yourself closest to your true nature. Because you've gained a chance to pursue hope once more. Yippee! Finally, I'm not a doomer anymore. I mean, deleting memories is, in a sense, kind of so handy of treating trauma and stuff like that in theory, right? As long as you don't abuse this power. I'm truly curious what the future holds for you, Alcide and Amir. Sadly, it's not a future that I will be a part of. Well, you're right, you're dead. Lisa? Don't worry about it, I'm just doing a little favor. After all, I'm just a phantasm born from the debate mechanism. Whether I'm real or fake was never that important to begin with. But please remember whether or not it came from the deepest recesses of your consciousness. Just as I always have been, this will become the most important footnote of your life. And when you truly realize the significance of the words you blurted out, then you live up to those who love you and those you love. We should all grasp our own destinies. That way, there will no longer be any such thing as preordained destinies in this land. You are the only antidote, but also the poison that can destroy everything. What truly hinders us is neither originum nor catastrophe. Neither sea nor sky, but rather ourselves. Believe in Amir, believe in Calcite. The dark, endless night is quickly approaching. You all must become our sole ray of light. Until next time. You cannot just end it here. Excuse me? Come on, game. Look up and see how small we are. We are making it into space. What the fuck is this map? I mean... I feel like even with pushes, there's not that much you could influence. Actually, this is... Is this a map with no range tiles? Ah, fuck it. Should also be the boss stage. I don't... At least I don't think there's ever an event with more than 10 stages, right? Or maybe I'm wrong. Over here. Surround her. Don't let her through. Man, look at those thinking they have a chance against Xavier. Attention forces, get ready! A feeling of weightlessness returns. Calcium crystals go rapidly, tethering Xavier's hand to the corridor floor. The second disorder wave is starting. Disorder. Nasty's magnum opus. You've been following me around for the last couple of days. Does defense have nothing else to do? Hey, you know, as long as nobody is complaining to HR, that is her job. 16 of your vine technological pipe modifications do not comply with our established safety regulations. Disorder. You abandon the sense of balance inside your mind. Instead of fighting the chaos, by adapting to its rhythm instead. Yeah, just follow the flow. Find what you've been looking for. You reconfigured several key structures in the park. You don't seem to be following any rules, but the connections between the components make sense. Would have never imagined that structures like these would be possible. A linear language constricts most people's imagination. If you have a specific future in mind, you must first construct a dialogue with the destination instead of brute forcing a route. Abandon balance. Receive the destination. Squeeze up both her hands and then she flies. Next shift in gravity comes abruptly, and as she hits the ceiling, she takes the opportunity to maneuver her trajectory, jumps over the soldiers hot on her tail. Calcium crystals follow in her wake, drawing an arc. Nasty and Savia. I mean, this event is stacked. Manipulating raw calcium in the semi-microbes change their composition. How very enlightening. Materials morph extremely quickly, are adaptable, combinable with various organs, and thus have promising medical applications. This has been your research field ever since you were in college, yes? Why not continue? Mastered it. Because it's dangerous. They were referring to the ethical issues arising from the construction of artificial organs with this technique. I don't know if I want calcium organs. More than that. Giving new techniques to doctors may save lives, but if they fall into the hands of criminals, they could also be reduced to weapons of destruction. I also got how rich with calcium our bodies are. Therefore, I've determined that my research in this field must be suspended until effective control measures have been established. It's a terrible pity, you know that. If you ever change your mind, my lab could certainly have 2 sections specializing in life sciences. Saya's so cool, it makes me sick. Oof. Well, have you just considered kissing her on the mouth instead or something like that? My lab needs a defense section more. Ooh, yeah, I'm kinda sure. Otherwise, probably a lot of people will be dead, right? It's not even like just the assassination attempt and stuff like that, just all the things that happens at labs, etc. I'm giving you my data in the hopes that you can combine our experiences to better evaluate the risks of the chimeric experiments. That would make me sick, I imagine. Fair enough. Don't go too far, Paris. The cost of pushing our boundaries will be too high for us all. But he transcended. Then, where does the boundary lie? Countless studies have shown that the evolution of life has not been a gradual process. Contrary to the theories of the earliest scholars in this field, we wouldn't be standing here right now if we had only been taking one step at a time. Sometimes it just needs to be thrown into the water, I guess. Furthermore, if we presume that there is indeed a boundary drawn by a higher will, that determines how we should be acting. Shouldn't we try to look in the eye first, before we decide to kneel or raise a flag of rebellion? A boundary. This corridor is also a boundary. If I keep walking along the corridor, I never reach wherever the eye is. The hammer. The sphinx-shaped laboratory has, from its inception, been designed to subvert people's perceptions. The civilization of Kristen's dreams, the real product of Vinelab's Commons Control section, the combined wisdom of practically every Vinelab director. Xavier is familiar with how each of them operate, but in the past, she had not allowed herself to think in the same way. This makes no sense. No, it doesn't matter. I've long been disgusted with this war. Man, this is just nostalgic Arknight's background music for me somehow. The telescope we bought from the Stargaze Association broke down. Don't worry about it. The view here is great. You can see many stars with just the naked eye. I wonder, are they actually gonna kill Kristen off? Is her thing gonna succeed of just going into space and everything? It wouldn't really make sense though, right? Clearly you're gonna get Kristen also as an operator one day. Well, you go look for a nice place to sit down. I'll try fixing it. Wow, oh great superhuman Lady Samia. I'm so curious. Is there honestly anything you can do? Recommend you check my personal course electives. Won't be able to do anything I'm not studying. You're a terrifying studying machine. What? It's so cold today. Want a candy? Cream puffs? Hot chocolate? I could go for some hot chocolate. Consuming sweets this late at night is not conducive to good health. Xavier's my goat. Extra respect to Xavier. Boring. Listen, look at it rock. What do you think it looks like? Oh, come on. It looks like Xavier, right? It's so hard, and yet shines so perfectly. Like the stars. Kristen grabs the shining stone and looks up. He seems to be comparing it to something as she moves the rock around. Something's wrong. There should be a star here, but there isn't one. I hated it. Done so many calculations, and yet I haven't figured out the trajectory of the stars. I already failed so many times. You still believe it's measurable? Yes, science. I prefer to say that I don't believe. Don't believe in all the rules I've been taught. I don't believe that humanity will never be able to pierce through the starport. Let alone believe that the stars are only as small as we see them. There's no way you believe we can fly all the way to the stars, right? But only a kid will believe stuff like that. Children, poets, and scientists. Whoever said I wasn't one? Scientists do not believe that dreams are false, because what they're essentially doing is proving to all humanity that dreams can come true. Fair. You have a point. Gosh, you really have one track mind. I mean, I feel like there was some very human yearning in the past just to take to the skies in all of history, no? So, Kristen, when our wine lab becomes a full-fledged public company, are you gonna keep that lab on the name, or change it to wine something else? We can change it and then they never change it. I'm studying ecology and Xavier's research is in bioengineering and microorganisms, so the two of us are down to keep it nice and generic. 2 against 1, us in the life sciences. Just kidding. I mean, you are dead set on soaring to the skies and your field is high energy physics, so wouldn't you wanna call it wine physics instead? I mean, you still do physics in a lab, right? I mean, it works. Oh. We'll stick with Wine Lab. It's a good name. I want to know exactly what the stars we are looking at are. I want to know what's outside the barrier encasing around us. I want to know if we really managed to walk among the stars and look back from over there, what kind of land we've actually been living on. All the questions I seek have mostly to do with not just me, but we. Yeah, we're not alone in this universe. Imagine aliens, wouldn't that be funky? And we're all being swept in this teeny tiny corner. How are you planning to compensate me for picking my vivarium, Xavier? How about a pizza? You knew Kristen's plans from the very beginning. Are you talking about Arc 01 or Galeria Solavia? Okay, I like that name because that is fucking name convention I would have. Arc 01 was never more than a front to deceive the military, a pile of scrap paper that was never feasible. Galeria Solavia is the real laboratory here. Or you could also say the name of this aircraft. Certainly is the name that she would come up with. Yep, the only thing she thinks about. So you replicated your vivarium up here. Is Kristen intending to fake to the barrier with it? Just tearing the starport open won't be enough for her, you know? Without a doubt. The fixation was never the barrier, but a realm beyond that even our ancestors have yet to reach. She truly wants to step inside the deep outer space. She wants to leave everything that can be left behind in that dimension. Imagine all the places we can bring the cancer walk to. That includes each and every life present in this vivarium. As soon as I heard about the Galeria Solavia project, I started gathering a variety of plant species that might be able to survive in the environment outside the barrier. Shouldn't it be... I mean, I do like my plants. I do like my trees, and we kinda need them for oxygen. Breathable air is nice, but wouldn't be like the first kinda plant life and stuff you would try be not like mushrooms instead. Like, fungi just live on everything, right? I just checked, and there's 753 different types here. Just put them all in this lab. I'm pretty happy about it. We'll be able to find our answer together real soon. We want to know if life can exist among the stars. Especially yourself. Yep. My people and I, we've been trapped in this cage that just continues to shrink. As time goes by, we can only follow what happens to water that can't be contained, wind that dissipates, trees that wither, and vanish from this ever-changing land. And then she said to me, "Then let's go. This land is not your home. Beyond it will just be a space untainted by original that will really accept you and your people." A mere hypothesis. So far no instrument has managed to penetrate or even approach the barrier, but there's no basis to assert the possibility of Originum's absence beyond the barrier. My audio pro? What? Was it the game audio? Or... I see. But it's just... my mic? Okay. My mic broke. Interesting. I guess I'll keep a look at this. I can maybe also do this. But thanks for telling me. That's good to know. I don't know what's up. Like, when was it? Not yesterday, on Sunday. For some reason, like, OBS didn't pick up my microphone at all, even when I didn't change anything and stuff like that. So, yeah, that that is fun, I guess. But yeah, let's go back to the game then. If it works, it works. I guess I can actually. This is like. Let me note this down. Sorry, not now I'm stalling, but like. Check. Finish. No. It's kind of like just 1 hour in, I guess. Okay. Okay, anyways. So far, no instrument has managed to penetrate or even approach the barrier. It was like hour 40 seconds. No, it's not, okay, thank you. You saved me 40 seconds of my life. Oop, okay. So there's no basis to assert the possibility of Iridium's absence beyond the barrier, let alone the total lack of evidence to suggest that life can survive in the depths of outer space. I know. It's just a dream. There's no evidence or data to support it, and it goes against all the scientific knowledge I have. But scientists don't believe that dreams are false, because what they're essentially doing is proving to all humanity that dreams can come true. I remember Kristen said that. Yes, she's the same as ever. What about us? Xavier? Have we changed at all? Water spreads out like hands in all directions, heading Xavier to the wall. Xavier has never seen the water this fierce out of Mule's eye. It's like a waterfall, like a tsunami, as if the water is howling. Calcium crystals continuously grow from Xavier's hands, but they fail to take from under the sweeping waves. She tries to find Mule's eye, but all she finds is stream after stream of water are the eyes of an elf hidden in the depths of each wave. Eyes filled with serenity and grief. The water is howling, but the elf is crying. I really wish we could be together forever, just like on that starlit night. But now we have to fight each other, Mortal Kombat style, sorry. But there's no way I can hold on to the both of you at the same time. Oof. Dancing in freeze really is too hard. I won't give you a chance to stop her, because 2 against 1. This time I'm on her side. Mules, sleep, Xavier. Go to sleep. You're all black and blue, probably about to pass out. There's no need for you to keep fighting, because our dream's about to come true. But is it a true dream, a dance metaphor? That's crazy, huh? After they danced with the doctor. Just close your eyes and the water will take you away from here. By the time you wake up, Chris and I will have reached our destination. No. A solid calcium crystal does not step at the water in vain, but into the side of the bulkhead. Xavier is well aware that the next disorder is about to happen. Warning. Energy overload initiated. All secondary compartmental cavity systems and dampers have failed. Attention all personnel. Energy overload initiated. She was one with the flow. Xavier was made for space. Why? But it suddenly... Sudden? No. You were right. Kristen has never changed. An dangerous gravitational shift causes the streams of water to lose direction. The enamel piercing to the bulkhead firmly fixes Xavier on the spot, but Musa is tossed outside along with the water. Xavier! You're the same as ever. Whenever you get nervous, you forget just how fragile your body is. No! Catch me! Aw, I don't want to leave. Not alone. Aw, come on, you have to hug her. Energy overload is starting. When it's done charging, the entire platform will collapse. Even if you can get close to, beam fake through the barrier, the core cabin will not last long enough. Wisdom wants to save you. As do I. You... Yes, I want to bring her back. You'll sigh. After gravity returns to normal, leave this place. What happens next is between the two of us. Samia! No, I gotta hold on to something. Now I just imagine she just floating around in the wing in just a water bubble. Authentication failed. Your clearance has expired. Calavia Solavia Vivarium access denied. No, that's a whole... Okay, that is just rude. Your clearance has expired. Calavia Solavia Vivarium access denied. Savia, you dummy! Block it! Knucklehead! Open the door! Okay. Mulesai is the cutest though, come on. Even while upset. I've really been abandoned again. Samia, I hope you make it. Savia stands at the door leading to the deepest part of the lab, knowing her target is sus inside. However, before she can even condense the calcium crystals on her hand, the door lock automatically releases. Compared to a previous area filled with instruments and equipment, this place feels more like a temple to the stars. It does look nice, though. A sphere made of smooth and flawless metal shows off its dazzling beauty under the soft light. I guess it's a bit gaudy. I feel like there's no reason to make it out of gold or make it gold-plated. That feels like just a waste of resources for aesthetics. A sphere made of smooth and flawless metal shows off its dazzling beauty under the soft light. Spheres of varying sizes slowly glide on predetermined orbits one after another, the paths changing now and then. Irregularities intertwine with each other, but contrary to expectations, they form an indescribable sense of harmony. Whether it be the persistence of the stars, or how precise their orbits shift, planetarium exceeds the imaginations of any astrologer. But in the very next moment, those devoted to the stars would probably fly into a rage. Those so-called astrologers are basically misguided zealots. For the past 1,000 years, they've committed themselves to tracking the trajectory of the stars. Every trajectory change that occurs signifies a new revelation, a meaningful omen to them. Come on, you don't get it. Mercury is in retrograde. It is just a very bad month for us. The behavior is not necessarily incomprehensible. The fact that the stars move without a trace is enough to terrify most people. The belief that the stars are mere pawns of an undescribable being, their movements and trajectory changes hold any meaning is obviously the more reassuring choice. Hi Ali, thank you for the raid. How are you doing? Hi McCoy. How was Battlefield? Did you just play multiplayer? Did you like rule some lobbies? Man, it has been years since I last really played a first person shooter, not gonna lie. But hi, we're going to space in my visual novel now. I ruined all the lobbies, let's go. However, Kristen extends a hand toward the planetarium. The dome of Galavia Solavia enveloping the ceiling suddenly opens itself. Oh, you know, the gold was still probably just fucking luxury choice, but it looks pretty. All starlight floods the laboratory. This makes a series of gestures with her hand. In an instant, the planetarium completely transforms. Big. The stars begin to move erratically. Voids. Our stars collide with one another. We destroyed thousands of lives. So they do not shatter. The sound of them crashing into each other instantly destroys the silence in the room. Fabricated. However, Kristen's expression does not change at all. As if everything is as it should be. The trajectories are really just invisible. And how have we avoided colliding with other stars throughout the last millennium? Good question. I mean, sometimes you probably still get hit by rocks, so there's the answer. We're so special to have avoided such a fate so far. What kind of land have we actually been living on? Where exactly are we headed? These questions, I've whispered them in your ears too many times to count. It's time for them to first fight and then make out. Can you help me move that planet over there, Savia? A small metallic sphere passes by Savia's hand. Star. Instead of touching it, she lets it fall out of orbit. Come on, you can at least be slightly supportive before we kick your ass. What a shame. I wonder, who's actually is Kristen gonna be the boss of this? We've been fiddling with these planets before we break the barrier. And no matter how many times I try, they just refuse to stay on the right track. Stop this, Kristen. You still have time to turn back, before you hit the barrier with the Scalavia Stellaria. Scalavia Stellaria isn't exactly as how I described it to you before. I pity that you had already left Vinelab by the time I built it. But I knew you would come back at the very moment when my dreams were about to be realized. You would be there. Whether or not here with me. Or against me. I mean, she just wants you to stay alive, man. This time, it's my turn to make the first move. Kristen lifts her hand, revealing the exoskeleton operating system Savia's most familiar with, and gently makes a fist. Silver liquid spews out from the planetarium behind Kristen. In an instant, all the planets are thrown out of their orbits, rushing towards a single position at a speed too fast for the naked eye. Okay, I think that's gonna be the boss. The entire galaxy pours down on Savia. I want to beat up our galaxy for sure, man. Lost Amogus? It's Amogus. I mean, I hope it's the kind of stage where you can just put ranged units everywhere, otherwise it's gonna be silly. Okay, yeah, it is. Which begs the question, what do we even do? I guess we want to kind of video hold this, and then throw balls at them in theory, I guess. Bang alert? Okay, let's go.
내가 진심으로 하면 좀 거칠거든.
얘들아, 도와주러 왔어.
눈 모든 것을 묻어버리기를 기다리도록 하시.
사과야, 오늘도 잘 부탁해.
I guess I probably you right. This does ignore. Oh fuck. Okay, this might be a problem. I forgot. You do not care.
없다.
우연히도 생각이 일치해 얼음과 눈이 녹아 사라지듯.
간단하다.
He's counting. Yippee! This was kinda very not clean. Honestly, I guess just give me Hoshi next.
결단을 내려라. 눈 모든 것을 묻어버리기를.
사과야, 오늘도 잘 부탁해.
가장 성가신적은 누구지?
I mean, Dragon should kind of work out. Hey, ladder. Or we do fight Kristen. Egotist, Betrayer, Seeker, Loner, Pioneer, Kryptonite, Terror. Well, it's gonna be a sad night when your friends will miss you.
결단을 내려라. 잘못된 길을 의심치도 않았고.
Now we can just do like all the stupid formations.
야, 눈 크게 뜨고 있으려는 노력을 해볼게.
Oh, I did. I'm gonna keep pushing. Actually, keep pushing the ball up is kinda neat. Actually, that was my plan. I swear. I guess I will also stop it with doing it with you though. Could maybe play Spang like this. Actually, he will also stop attacking during his skill 3 though, right? I mean, for one, I feel like some. I'd also just put you like here.
말하기 좀 그런데 내가 일으킨 트러블은 나밖에 수습 못해.
Oh, you changed the balls. I don't know what it means, but you changed the balls. And we can break them or something. Well,
한 전체를 봐라. 승패는 한 곳에서
what if we just put balls in your way? I love playing Go. Okay, I assume this fucking pile will be more than enough to just carry.
잘못된 길을 잘못된 길을 의심치도 않았고 무모하게 싸움에 빠져들다니
Balls everywhere, baby.
이놈들에게는 진보가 없군.
Oh, you will. Okay, that vine placement is bad, I must admit.
다들 이쪽으로 와.
발도에
She has a second phase.
부숴야 하느니
Well, I'm not sure if I ever really have the time, but I still would love to go back to do all the bosses with Life Alien Team or something like that, where it's not super overpowered. But also, man, it's nice to have Exo Alter. I kinda at least want to read what mechanics she actually had. But yes, we did it. We saved the world, and with the world, I mean, we made sure to put the progress of Terror like 20 years backwards again or something. This seems hard. It's... man. This might be the hardest video game they ever made. I'm literally not even having my hands on my mouse or keyboard right now. And it's not like I'm even running a real auto team. What I'm doing with my hands right now, that is up to your imagination though. Look at the car. Okay, maybe I should press the button.
당황하지 마라.
I pressed the button.
애처롭군.
The stars crashed to the ground, and the sky was no more. Someone lifts their head from the pristine white debris scattered all over the floor. What's the matter, Control? You were faster before. Since you weren't able to kill me, I launched my counter-offensive. Don't blink. Toss uppercut her. The star struck down by Xavier we float, setting off on a new trajectory. Kristen's fingers flicked to the side. Tyra's legs suddenly feel 1,000 times heavier. We have lost gravitational control in here. The gravity shifted? Use the swig to send the Mulesire away. It won't work on me. An animal grows beneath Xavier's feet like a pair of heavy-duty boots, holding her in place. And then she begins to move forward, step by step. Wouldn't you still need so much power to do this though? Instead of refining the way you generate calcium particles, you simply increase the release speed. The enamel you're generating has gotten even more brittle. A hardy resistance isn't enough to cross the finish line. A metal planet shatters the enamel barrier, hitting Savia on her shoulder. Savia does not cease her advance. She is the best tank to exist. She got this. It happens twice, and then thrice. Savia continues to speed up. Savia, stop. Stop? That's what I said to you. I can tell you all about my plans. I know. Then why do you insist on stopping me? There'll be no other victims in this plan. I just wanted to set off some harmless fireworks over the skies of tomorrow. The moment Hammer finishes its job, both the military and Melander will breathe a sigh of relief. The residents of Timor will be momentarily captivated by the spectacle unfolding before them in the sky, but soon enough, their focus will be directed towards other, more deserving concerns. Vinelab might be the most affected party here. She will lose her control, possibly several directors, and the confidence of powerful Colombian organizations. Then you should have stayed on the ground. Clean up the mess, protect those who might be hurt by this, and carry our Vinelab through the crisis. You've always been good at that. You forgot again. I resigned a long time ago. People like Plague like to call scientists mad. They have a point, for sure. We couldn't care any less. But science is supposed to be rational. Yeah, I mean, okay, you make it to space once. You will be forever remembered in history, but then what? Listen, when I first heard the story of your parents, I thought it shouldn't have seen an ending like that. If they hadn't perished in that accident, had returned before hitting the barrier, we would have brought back incomparable precious data, as well as the possibility of a second attempt. You obviously admire their will and determination. I've never been one to approve of sacrifice, being justified and inevitable. Ferdinand, Nasty, Parvis. They and many others always thought me too conservative. Man, what would you think of Parvis just saying, fuck it, I'm turning into the conscious screw? You see me as a stickler for rules, obstructing all of you. Huh. Can a woman like this even be called a scientist? Even I myself have asked this question. You're the most dedicated truth seeker I know. Truth. Truth is the inertia that comes after order. But your science can bring us truth, and truth can restrain madness. Bring about a better society for everyone. Us survivors have always been accompanied by the instinctive madness. For as long as we can remember. Violence, savagery. We took an extremely long time just to step out of that chaotic darkness. That's what I've been taught ever since I was small. Use these to control myself, and desperately want to confront the madness I see in all of you. But you can't do it. Xavier, if you intend to hold on to Vinelab by your lonesome, you are sure to be disappointed, because humanity's thirst for progress is inherently undefeatable. A type of desire, a type of madness, but also natural instinct. Yeah, and then you're like a moth through the fire. The fuel that has brought us from the desolate barrenlands to where we stand. Which is why I've come here, and not for a fight. The heavy stars fall on her like a box slide, and gravity controls the airflow to howl at her entire body. Calcium crystals crumble from head to toe, but the mountaineer is determined to greet the storm with her own form. Question. I almost admitted my own defeat while searching for you, until someone said to me that I should return to the origin. So on my way here, I've been looking back where we all started. Look at us being just innocent and naive students at the university. Yes, I tried losing control, but it's not a fear of chaos, but a fear of regression caused by it. So I must progress onward, as humanity must, because for us, the trek is far from over. Indeed. To this day, humanity still lives in the dark. After all, you can't even see through the sky hanging over our heads. The road is long. Very, very long. We hold more knowledge than the average bystander, so we must shoulder heavier responsibilities. We should ahead of time eliminate any dangers and carefully lead them on the path forward. A real pioneer should be clearing the way for all humanity, instead of jumping headfirst into the abyss, never to return. This is my foundation, and I will stand by it. About you. She has weathered the storm, she crosses the galaxy. The final calcium crystals spread from one palm to the back of another. The metal exoskeleton begins to tremble. The synthetic stars ceaselessly resolve around the two in unison. Everything else around them has sunk into chaos as a result of their arts colliding and destroying each other. While your protector's will remains unshaken as the earth. You're always slightly late. And you're always slightly early. Been waiting long, Calcite. Is it time for the debate for Calcite? Not really. I thought you would be next. You're like a microcosm of everything that happened in Ursus. I'm sorry. I really am. Sorry, for what? I knew my husband and I were already doomed when we made our decision at the Research Institute. I'm not the type to get depressed. Lilia? Man, you might be the biggest Lilia fan. No, perhaps you might have even become more depressed in the last century. No. Old regrets, maybe even remorse towards your story, but not much sorrow. I'm talking about your daughter. Olinik doesn't live in the better era that you wished for. However, the hate and violence have been forgotten. The same goes for Ludmilla. Like I said, you're like a microcosm, Lilia. You and Folonik have an unbreakable bond formed of hatred and blood. You need something to keep you going. A microcosm. I've seen it many a time, a futile destruction. Sounds like you're tired. You weren't created to be a savior. You can't level a mountain with a finger, or destroy a city with your eyes. That's what kind of plebeian would hope that you were invincible. Do those fools think you could uphold a civilization teetering on the edge of collapse with just violence? Might be some with such a hope. They hope that I can bring them a future, hope to survive in my country, hope for victory under my command. You failed them because you're just Calcite. Man, kind of rude to say. Our conversation has yielded no answers. Yes, you've admitted it. You're tired. But why? You're always on the path of avoiding the self-destruction. But the power you hold is just that minuscule. There's no way you can teleport from Victoria to Ursus, or into every Sarkas on Terra to see what dangerous witchcraft they're diving into this time. Whatever you do just goes more and more futile. You're starting to get impatient, right? And especially with... I know. I already know what you're afraid of. You're still able to keep yourself from thinking about it. Sometimes you just need to cope, okay? Not letting Vervisa and Vervisas appear in front of you. Even your subconsciousness is practically begging for it. How does she even accomplish that then? The same goes for your own determination, Calcite. You think people will treat you gently, so that a pair of siblings won't talk to you like this? How strange, you were so cold before that I never imagined you would seek the warmth of others. If you go alone long enough, you do realize people are kinda neat, even if they also all suck. From such a perspective, you really have become weak. Spring is chilly here. I catch a cold soon. If I stay out any longer, we'll go somewhere with a warmer spring. Shall we go inside? Well. Snow. A way outsider. Are you heading for the sacred mountain? Pilgrims as young as you barely make it up here. Why aren't you continuing ascent? That's God for spite. Sacred Mountain. Are we in Shavak? I was never in Shavak. Can't believe the game would do this to me. Shavak, where's that? Is that where you're from? Wouldn't consider it as such. It's one of the most spectacular mountains in Terra. Once saw a group of destitute refugees settle and rebuild their lives in the paradise free of catastrophe. Oh, it must be a beautiful place then. Terra, it sounds so small. That's where you're from? Yes. Man, she just became a native from Terra, huh? I come from Terra. Which makes sense, she spent so much time on it, right? And you? Toward the mountain. You're born with this one goal. Born with it? We frolic among the trees on the mossy plains in our youth. Learned from the rocks, and in our prime we began climbing the mountain. We did so much groundwork at the foot of the mountain, weaving strands of dawnlight into ropes, or preparing a pair of shoes that won't be contaminated by the darkness of the night. And then we began climbing the mountain. That is life, man, exactly. The road is long and full of obstacles, and we only harvest resources from the valleys. Fortunately for us, Sacred Mountain is merciful, and feeds us with death, so we dedicate our long lives to this mountain path in return. Must be an exhausting journey coming all the way here. Exhausting? No, no, no. The snow does not mourn, it's melting. This is all from the self-flattering efforts of others, while we are just climbers. What is this sacred mountain called? And what should I call you? This mountain is called Time. And us? We are just insignificant lives. Okay, Preserver just wants to sound smart. Time is such a grand thing, isn't it? Should be well aware of this. Will the mountain change? Has anyone reached the summit? Not yet. I hope so. Nobody reached the end of time yet. I don't know. What I mean by that is maybe. By shouting at the abyss of time, the response you receive is the gift from the sacred mountain. Time will not give you an automatic answer, but it will respond. Our predecessors called this response fate. And fate is the echoes of the cries of life. Have you never done this before? No, I never climbed on time before. It seems like there will be a blizzard tonight. I should go prepare dinner and find a place to set up camp. Do you need a place to rest? We can go together, girl. Sure, old man. I'd like to know what's there to fill your stomach. Perhaps we'll be having despair, child. My favorite emotion. Maybe you can finish your prayers before dinner. We are shouting before the blizzard blots everything from sight. Louder. You will become yourself. I'll see it. Your judgment is rational. For this, I feel sorry. Sorry for what? It's only myself. Because I am your time. I could have at least, put on a nice suit or something for this. It single-handedly caused your distrust towards humanity, your pessimism, your dismay, and your impatience with no way out. However, from her and on her, you saw a possibility. Out of your tendency to be overly cautious and anxious, I suspect that this feeling is merely a misjudgment caused by your irritation. After all, the world is breaking out of your knowledge and control. The new you was only born not long ago. The new you? And yet you have considered it many times before. Much easier it would be if you chose to trust them instead. I am your time, Calcite. You omniscient fool. You forget the little details. You're not a chosen savior. You should not be. Not always right either. Oh, look at this cute thing. Even if you've already made up your mind, You know better than anyone else how limited time is. Does she? She doesn't just like all the time in the world. There isn't much left. You should try giving up. Choose to trust someone you can believe in. You are not trusted because you are Calcite, nor do you become Calcite because you are trusted. You are the echoes of a valley, water tipping off a cliff. Responsibilities way beyond what your abilities can bear, and now at least there are people to share these responsibilities with. What you have lost and gained in a short period of the past few centuries far exceeds your former days, so long they were that you could only use for progress and evolution. Everything is about to end, Calcite, and you know this. Will you stay your passivity, your pessimism, your apathy? Don't forget your original question. Don't forget the answer that you nearly had. Go on, Ema 10. You cannot just name her like this. The meaning of your existence is more than you yourself. Let's stop here. Indeed. Indeed, this is enough. And the doctor? Coming down elsewhere. I do intend to spend some time with you alone. I have a question for you, Ema 10. Calcite? For the past 10,000 years, have you really lived on this land? It sounds like she came around. Yes. It seems you've changed quite a lot. You haven't interacted much, but you shouldn't be your current self. You should still be just a cold puppet. What did you choose? As in wars lasting several millennia, a wise and coexisting of nations, and people growing from their misunderstandings and conflicts. I mean, there's nothing more hope-pilling than somebody that saw so much and still believing in humanity, right? But in the end, they all scattered to the wind, just like the sons of Sargon. But in the blink of an eye, Israel has already given birth to new children. I've seen the cycle repeat too many times. The cycle itself looms large and weighs heavy. I'm fully aware that time is running out. And then I ran into a unique opportunity. I once met two Tikas who were closer than any creature in any era, with the truth of continuing civilization. But now you are all as fragile as the twist on an asteroid belt. So how can you possibly talk of continuing? Wait, you're saying the Black Crown still remains on Terra? A lot of fiends, as the ancient Tikas called it. Tikas? Those odd endemic lifeforms? What a fluke. I had thought it would have been left behind on the Black Crown. I dislike the shape it takes on the physical plane. And, the crown leaves a bad taste. You know, I kind of was very sure we would just get some background lore of Calcite and Doctor and basically their ways. But yes, give me actually Black Crown lore. It's still kind of curious what is up with the circus. Crown points to royalty. This ancient imagery implies power. In this downward trend of collapse, where the misunderstandings over ideology and ways push surface civilization towards self-destruction, with an extravagant mirage of peace and unity. The most direct method should be to use those powers to reshape the will of all living beings, and fuse them into a singular form. What can a false leader made of memories, emotions, and knowledge even achieve? Don't underestimate Amir. Doctor, are you alright? This thing has gone too far. Perhaps I have underestimated you, but this does not affect the ending already set in stone. No, we gonna save Quisten. We just have proof that we can go into space, and then we will work on building Enfield Industries or something. You want me to believe that such a tiny piece of heritage is enough to change fate? Heritage is humanity's sole achievement ever since our ancient ancestors learned to use tools and fire. Knowledge, culture, history. So-called civilization is nothing more than that. There will be a day when the Black Crown will no longer belong to Mia alone. We will have to fight to survive, no matter who the enemy is. Not only belong to Mia alone is a curious choice of words. What do you mean not alone? I mean, it would make sense that at some point, you know, Amir dies again and... okay, not again, but dies of old age or something, and a new king will be chosen, but... the crown being shared. You've chosen to fight for Terra. This is what you decided? With this body, this identity? You are different from Kristen and her kind. Your struggles are far from your original intent. Even though its island reserve op team knows the difference between fighting for themselves and fighting for others. We've all done our preparations. This great land of terror is where I grew up. I'm an employee for its island, a part of the ship sailing on the land called Terror. Infected is just too trivial a proposition, however. Infected, originum. Then what about you, Doctor? I have a feeling I'm an employer for its island. Maybe? How much are they paying the Doctor? What do you guys think? Is it a good salary? Well, I am an employer for its island. I also have a question for you, Trevor Fiston. How has your time been? Is equal a long period of time? Wait, Fiston? Is this where Fiston comes from? Maybe at one point I should look at the Once operators and read their lore. The perturbation system has been lifted. Fiston, tell me how to stop the energy accumulation, and where exactly does the energy come from? This will be an extremely long story. We'll try to crack the Galavia's control panel before I'm done listening. Xavier, you know, the history of this land is far longer than most realize. I believe every generation produces its own skeptics, just like my parents and I. Have our adventures really been completely fruitless? And was there perhaps a more ancient point in time that the sky hanging over us was not as we see it today? I remember, that was one of the establishing goals of Vine's Lab Scientific Investigation section. Conventional exploration alone has already provided me with plenty of interesting information. After you left Vine, I picked up some interests I had previously, and tried leaving the laboratory, heading to various corners of the world that mankind had scarcely set foot on. The purpose of these journeys was not to observe the sky. The stars are not worth looking at. I came to this conclusion early on, after countless calculations. I only wanted to try and find more collaborators. Since the last Lifanian Arts detector orb fell short at 500 meters below the barrier, let's go, the Germans are also looking into rocket science. Academic circles in most countries abandoned the research into the thing. So what I've been looking for, a voice that doesn't belong to this era. Yeah, instead you have the voices of an extinct race. Like the immortals who rely on original arts to escape the shackles of life, or the Fairmouths older than any country. Perhaps even older than those regarded as gods. It's being so old that history has forgotten them. I still want to know what's up with all the immortal beings and everything. Before I set off on my journey, I had no idea what I was going to find. I just felt a calling across time and space, directing me toward the door. And what was inside the door? Everything. I found the answers to all my questions, but we managed to track across history to make it here, about the land's unexplored secrets, about the myriad of possibilities for our future. But at the same time, I also saw the end of a civilization, a spirit abandoned by time. I mean, achieving like actually space travel and space colonization is like the one thing you kinda need to reach with your species to kinda make sure that there's not just any extinction event that can take you out, right? I mean, like, right now it is very unlikely, and I assume humanity will go on till the heat death of the universe or something like that. Not even till the heat death of the universe. Like, I guess our first problem will be our sun exploding, right? But so that will be already one thing. And so, you know, you never know what nice meteorites happen and stuff like that. Time. Time is nothing but a wild joke. At the end of the world, when the seas dried up, and the rockets swatted away as everything changed, I hid in the scrim bunker, repeating a futile act, shouting into the void. My words permeated every moon and space itself, every tunnel and corner of the stars. The universe did not respond to me. I prayed to the pitch-black despair for tens of thousands of years, and the only thing I heard in return was the reverberations of destruction. Whenever I longed for a survivor's response, the sound of collapse and waves of occupied light still lingering among the stars would emerge. It was a black hole of futile effort. My emotions were far beyond what any regular life form would ever experience or empathize with. In the endless silence, all I could hear was the heartbeats of my people growing ever weaker. But the dormant hearts should not have been beating at all. Nightmares cannot jolt me awake, because it is impossible for me to sleep. I hate myself for having these emotions. Man, this needs a hack. It makes sense that we made like a robot out of them or something like that. I wish I could operate like a pure machine. I hate the other me that had assigned me a fate like this. I knew very well the plan had already concluded. The energy in these sarcophagi was not enough to power the next stage of recovery in our plans, man. It must be kinda so sad being kinda trapped in a mortal mausoleum, right? Just knowing, yeah, your plan did not work out, you just went away. Soon after, I was swept into the nothingness, endless and numb. So the contactive Kristen offered you a gamble. Since your people could never wake up, you might as well. No. The first time I saw that humanoid creature, what I felt was surprise. I've been watching the depths of space far, far away, not what happened on the surface. I noticed the growth of life, but never expected it to knock on my door. We spent a long time talking, but in reality it was no longer than a few months. Kristen fired question after question, as if she was meeting a manifestation of truth. Remarkably, every topic would send her into a long period of reflection and silence, instead of satisfying her thirst for knowledge. She catalyzed an idea, but she didn't voice it herself. Wisdom refused to be the one to execute the plan. Plan? She believes that someday this land will need a group that can separate themselves from politics and unite as people. Hey, have you heard about Wolf's Island? This far-sighted group would have to employ everything at their disposal. They built an ark. That is why it's called Ark Knights. They said it finally, we're building an ark. The pioneers would inevitably face the struggle of understanding, and would face division and suffering. But reality is not myth, as Babel has proven. So what is Wolf's Island to you, if you hold no hope for all of this? You're right about that. We can discuss this so-called hope. It's this goober points at Doctor. Kristen's little helpers have already begun fiddling with the sarcophagus technology. I have no qualms with it, but this must mean something important for Terra. I mean, this is like another basically industrial revolution for them. That must be such a huge leap in technology. Like, I feel like Terra's technology is just so sped up compared to like our real world technology, right? I feel like we're one just using original as a power source already, even if it gives you cancer and everything. It seems like very convenient and like a lot more efficient than what we had, right? Like Sure, original mining will kill you, but coal mines were not really better. And it sounds like original itself is, you know, a lot better than coal. I mean, you do have... yeah, I think that is a huge leap. I mean, like, isn't it like that even they don't have, like, gunpowder invented or... Okay, maybe they have, but, like, all the guns are still basically just original machines and stuff like that. It's they work very differently. So, yeah. And then getting, like, space energy technology from the sarcophagi itself. There must be, like, so much technology in there, even of just preserving bodies and stuff like that for medicine. Man, I love bots. But I will not be a friend of a Kalenka, I'm sorry to tell you. Instead, what we will do is I click on your name, can I... I think we do this. Anyways, where was my one? Technology is pretty cool. I have no qualms of it, but this must mean something important for Terra. Use it well. Wisdom's political views are not without a few flaws. Logan's research has effectively been put under control. I cannot possibly trust Columbia as a nation. There's someone behind the mainlander foundation that is worth negotiating with. It's time for you to meet Tin Man. That is good. And then tell me, are the deep-sea dwelling Aegir really so different from the civilization on land? What I can tell you far surpasses whatever Kristen has told you. Indeed, I cannot comprehend why these creatures with bodily structures inadequately suited to survive in the deep sea would establish a civilization in the ocean. But this suggests they depend on some product of the seafloor. The form of the civilization has been distorted by external forces, making them stronger, but also causing problems. I do really look forward to seeing the Seaborn storyline. Aegir is a settlement that must be united, regardless of the problems caused by those rampant sea monsters. I believe that's what they are called. Terra cannot leave such a developed nation alone. I mean, Limbus just told me it is... There's some nice cities and monsters that we can form nice civilization with and be one hive mind and form happiness or something. Considering their approximate geographical location, if they use what they might have in abundance appropriately, my guess is that what Kristen is doing right now is not necessarily out of the Aegir's reach. With strength comes arrogance. Aegir is not so easy to persuade. Though fortunately, due to a series of incidents, I have had the good fortune to establish a precious friendship with some Aegir. This will be an impactful breakthrough. Since the profound silence, Aegir can no longer remain silent. Yeah, all the people I spend so much time with. I mean, I do have a Spectre. Excellent. The March of the Knight's Mower basically only exists as a legend in the databases of Columbia, with no decent historical text to refer to. But if the legendary event was not, in fact, a falsehood, then he is indeed an incredible hero. If we take Originum as the power source, the fact that such a tyrant born on Terra thousands of years ago could achieve such a great feat in a much more primitive environment does inspire wonder. However, the south is already in ruins, sure you should look north. That's why I'm gonna play the next IS, yeah. Have you been there? Sami? No. Even further north, at the ends of the endless ice fields. I tried many times, but I've yet to find anything with the limits of my own abilities. Well, maybe instead of making a spaceship, Just make it nice. It's a case would not be an issue. I guess to make a nice land ship that can just pierce through all the ice. But you know what's over there. I do. So don't ignore the door that lies there. Push it open when you need to, and it will show you a boundless vista. That's not ominous at all. There's no foreshadowing. Just pushing that door is already far beyond what most are capable of. And so it's up to all of you to find a way. The land is vast and civilization continues to advance. Just surely there's more than one quest. You seem to trust the denizens of this land more than I previously thought. Honestly, this might not be the best person, but compared to the average human preserver could have met, probably a very good impression, yeah. First, I handed the Tinder to you. I've given up everything on my end. Whether or not you can succeed, nothing can be changed. This is my failure. Bust? Yes, I do not know. Perhaps I just want to see any life form able to converse and interact with one another, to continue existing. You know this, compared with the problems of the distant horizon, as something that could happen at any moment. War. Even if I look only through the eyes of Columbia, I sense the imminent danger to your world and the fire that can ignite at any time. You will require preparation. Do what you must. To extinguish the flame or let it produce new life, this is your choice to make. Those who are truly able to save the denizens of terror are always and only themselves. This need for awakening has not changed since time immemorial, because it is all part of what humanity is. We will discover the truth. The sky is about to be opened, but the barrier will soon heal itself. Perhaps it will take a few days, or months, or years. But the people of Terra will take that limited, voracious scene into their eyes, and will keep the moonlight and the distant planets in their memories. I hope, Kristen hopes, this will be a powerful signal. A signal to herald to the next great age. Saria, would you like to gaze at the stars together, just like we did before? We can talk about this after we descend. The starry sky. I mean, if you're already up there, at least enjoy the view for a minute. More precisely, what we gaze at is a barrier, the starport. There's still 1,000 meters to go. Our current position is already near the limit of humanity's touch. The ionization response is too strong. At this height, instruments can't operate with all the interference. The control panel is completely useless. I should have known. I have no intention of letting the Garavia survival last much longer. Yes, it just has to last until I break the barrier. The barrier. Though we have always been inclined towards the usage of barrier. We are well aware that the shape of it is more than just a barrier, as per conjecture. Might not even be a barrier at all. The extremely wide space. Might be an atmosphere. Might even lack endpoints. The 6,000 meters, what we understand as normal airspace, is actually abnormal. And in that case, breaking it was never an option. It can indeed be broken. Rules are meant to be broken or something. Swings bad. Never once doubted it. 6,972 meters. If you fly straight up at this angle, as long as you can soar past that height, Via Solaria will no longer be disturbed by any ionization reactions. Fine, so you have credible data from that spirit. But this doesn't reduce the danger of exploring the skies at all. No, even if we assume the barrier is enveloping the land like a membrane, as you say, means we know less than nothing about the space beyond it. This makes the actions even more hazardous. They even think the stars stopped in this land. I know. I just want the space aliens to find us and devour us. The people are simply inadequately prepared for this. There will never be an adequate preparation. If there's indeed a calamity looming over us, humanity is already living under a ticking clock. Yeah, true, but there's still probably better ways to go at this. that's the case, then we should be more cautious, right? Xavier, I believe there will come a day when a much more complete exploration team will be formed, and with more data and full support, they will enter into the depths of space before our very eyes. This is also the future I hope for. But you yourself are not in this future of yours. Phew. I am ill-suited to be called a pioneer. On that point, I fully agree with your view. If possible, I would prefer to become a starting point. Yeah, but, you know, probably a better starting point to bring back all the data you have instead of just yeeting yourself into space. Just like once back when I watched the light of those flames burning in the sky. That was the last thing my parents left me. A starting point. Where's the closest escape pod? None left. Those of the capability to execute the return module are already gone. Alright. Then hold on to me. I will wrap the both of us in calcification. Might not even have a chance of survival, but we can try. Xavier, lower your gaze. What? There she goes. You're the one who didn't look down this time. The clarity abruptly shifts without warning. Saya feels only space beneath her feet. With her. She did not expect Kristen to set up an emergency escape door at the Galleria Solaris Center. No, Saya thinks to herself, should have expected it long before. The store is not for the owner of the planetarium. Kristen knew that at the very last moment, Xavier would come, man. Just blend out the whole dialogue already. A sudden change of mass robs Xavier of her voice, and she fails to yell out anything at all. She also knows that there's nothing she can grab, but still stretches her hand out. Starlight and earth pour into her view, and Kristen only gets further and further away. It's like the thing she turned the balls into. Yippee. Xavier, you always wanted me to take a good look at the world. Now I have. It is equally beautiful. It's also a nice soundtrack. You will watch it, and the people it nurtures in my stead. This I always knew. Mine is kind of sad it's so quiet. Just as you have in the past and will in the future. And I'm not the type to lead people on, step by step. I'm just a pair of eyes. Eyes that will peer into the unfamiliar depths of space for all that live on that land. Kristen, I can almost see the true starry sky. Probably hasn't changed much from what you've told me. In over 10,000 years, me and you, our civilization and yours. On the scale of the universe, we really are insignificantly small. But we keep on going. The torrent of energy pounds the accumulating area of this giant airborne construct, and the wing hovering up high looks almost swallowed by the tremendous amount of energy. Immediately afterwards, an even greater amount concentrates at its core, enough to destroy any massive nomadic city. When this world is just so puny and shallow, how could it ever bear it? Don't watch me, or maybe watch her die or something, come on. Light converges and abandons the earth, stepping upwards into the air. Huh. Okay, I did. What? Yeah, so there was like literally some. Did we just make a big hole in the ozone layer? I did not think that there would like quite literally be some form of physical barrier here. Another unprecedented energy surge, wave after wave of dazzling ripples, emerged on the pitch-black curtain, devoid of any life. The false sky is at last rent asunder. Ah. Is the whole night sky of Terra just a simulation? I guess like the whole sky? But, huh? The ancient twin moons expose their real faces. Tonight, the truth will be perceived by humanity for the very first time. Okay. You got my interest again. Let's go. We also got new music.
전부 다 파악하고 있으니까.
Okay, I want to see more story, but I also quickly want to look what the boss mechanics actually would have been. Wait, they have special stages here? Huh? But it, huh? This, oh, it would be with, okay. I mean, I guess I'll check them. First we do the story, then if I have time we'll check them, if we can do them this stream or something. Don't think they're that relevant. Every starving grants +1 block and reduces damage received. I see. Immune to control effects and takes reduced damage from planetary debris. Categorize planetary debris and turns them into starvings. So you kinda would want to destroy them. When HP reaches 0, detonate every starving on the field, dealing us damage to all friendly units on the field. Yep, nobody noticed that damage. When entering second form, immediately overrides all planetary debris. Gives increased attack and attacks an additional target. You no longer override the debris, but destroying a starving deals arse damage to all allies on the field, increases all enemies' movement speed. Heat Death. When HP reaches 0 for the first time, detonates every starving on the field. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Might be more hurtful in the actual other stages. Okay, let's go. We also got all the silence dupes. Didn't really look at what the silence actually does. Is silence all the good? Some cheer, some are in awe, some dance in joy, some spend the night sleepless. A coastal view that one can see anywhere in Iberia. Huh. Is it time to see some seaborn looking at the sky? Bubble close by indicates the place may have once been a prosperous village, but now only a solitary wind chime left hanging on a wall echoes the waves as they hit the shore. Okay. How the hell do I voice act the seaborn? It would be more like, we need a Cthulhu gargle, but how the hell do I do that? That works. A wave rushes a sea terror onto the beach. No, perhaps it might have followed the wave to dry land. Whatever it was, it didn't seem to have a goal in mind. It merely wanders, looks around, just like its pattern do. It shouldn't have found anything. All I can see while standing in this overgrowth is the endless ocean and the sky. But in the next moment, as if it had sensed something, it looks towards a certain direction. The ever-changing sky is swept by a wave of ripples. Ooh. It looks in that direction. But there's only an endless sky. Soon after, its compatriots arrive, its kin, its the many. And their eyes look in the same direction. They are following the call of the stars. Cthulhu has awoken or something. As an attendant apologizes to the proprietor, he pops up his master, the court musician, and helps him leave the bar. Mein Herr, you shouldn't drink anymore. Don't get in my way. I can't figure out a tune, so I might as well just drink myself to death. Ach, mein Herr, didn't you draft several pages yesterday? I think the third song is honestly not bad at all. At least you knew me well. But nein, this will not do. It's not good enough. There's still something missing, a key ingredient. The awe and wonder of seeing the unknown. We understand, a kind of psychedelic and yet magnificent an image of madness. Of course, I understand you completely. You're always chasing this kind of work. Huh? Oh, I must really be drunk. What's wrong? I saw waves tweaking across the horizon. Waves? I should take you to a doctor. What is that? The attendant lifts his head towards the sky to see halo-like waves sweep across the night. This is... But I've somehow gotten second-hand intoxication to the air. The clouds are like waves and the sky is a curtain. Gut. Sehr gut. Everyone, go, quick. Take me home. No, hand me a pen. Quickly. Here, have you found some inspiration? Inspiration? No. What I have discovered is a wellspring. Under the dim street lights, the musician lies down on the floor on his stomach, riding in a frantic pace without a care for his image. Tonight, many an artist slept never a wink. Now, what will all the nobles do? Take a gander at this happy lot. They think the storm's already over. Victoria merely had a little hiccup. Whatever they possess is still intact, and will continue to remain as is. How I wish I could share their optimism. Sir, there's something I need you to see. What happened? You're not the sort to be killjoy at a time like this. It seems something has happened in Columbia. Seems? Yes, we are urgently collecting information at the moment. So a rebellious child again done something incomprehensible with the science and technology they are so overly proud of. It has yet to be determined, but at present, I can confirm that this is information you must know. There is base. Just how important is this matter that I have to be proactive instead of waiting for you to bring it to me? It is honestly beyond the scope of my abilities. The Count realizes the bitter smile on his Dwarf's face, and shifts his originally joking mood to one of surprise. This officer only knows to tell the truth, and this means that something has indeed happened. The Count walks to the window and immediately realized why his subordinate was at a loss for words. It was information physically impossible to be brought before him, but also reality that no one could ignore. What sort of natural phenomenon is this? We immediately hired experts hired into this field, and combined with the information from Columbia over the past few days, they have proposed some valuable theories. Site 359 spy dossier, huh? It's interesting that they have even information on that. Investigation report on the Mailander Foundation. What are these? Academic papers? A barrier? Tell me the key points of note. This layer of ripples has originated from Columbia and is extremely unnatural. After conducting some simple observations, we believe that the findings align perfectly with a long-forgotten theory in the world of science. The sky above our heads is indeed false, and now it will fall on our heads. Something has happened, and we know nothing about it. I've already mobilized all our spies in Columbia. They will soon bring us results. Spare no expense. I want an answer before tomorrow morning to bring to the Duke of Normandy. Yes, sir. My lord, I would like to introduce my distant nephew to you. Tonight's banquet ends here and now. Count needs his peace and quiet now, so please return home, Viscount. Very well. Man. And here he wanted to impress and set up his family for a bright future or something. The Count looks at the distant sky without saying a word. Tonight, conspiracies hatch in alleys while countless politicians toss and turn in their beds. Warning. Energy overload. Energy overload. Shockwaves from the energy supplies have impacted the entirety of Hammer. Secondary disengagement protocol acceleration complete. All secondary cabins, mounting devices, and external energy lines have been separated from the Galleria Solaria's main body. All personnel, evacuate via the escape pod and execute return protocol. Repeat. All personnel, evacuate via the escape pod and execute return protocol. This goddamned weightlessness. Couldn't you have made the escape pod just a bit smaller? Or the size of an entire room? I mean, they didn't know how many people they would bring or something, I guess. Quick, get that shelf balancing system up and running. We gotta stabilize this room first at the very least. My bones are about to shatter from being tossed around like marbles in a box. I know, I'm working on it. I hate manually disengaging lock mechanisms so much. Especially in times like this. Alright, it's stable. Now check the return protocol. The Tvoke and pilot parachutes have been launched. Running trajectories on auto adjust. If you look up, there's still time to bid your farewells to control. Hey, Bullet, look at the corridor. Isn't that the Vector Mule's eye? The Vector Mule's eye. Get in quick. There's still seats. You should have clearance to enter. This is the escape pod. This escape pod has existed since the very beginning of Arc Zero's design phase. We ran several rounds of navigation and puzzle tests before, so don't worry. You're Cloud, right? I remember you. You've all been in competence control for many, many years. Before Hammer took flight control, no, Kristen disbanded the wind-up competence control section. Huh. Last job she assigned us was to assist energy charging and focusing. All calibration, maintenance and security tasks have already been completed. We return to the ground, we all get new contracts, leave wine and leave for more. And I guess he did set up the whole life, alright. What's this? A remote sensor recorder. It provides real-time feedback from biological data in the vivarium. Aww, she did really think about her. Control said it would be helpful to you. I was going to send it over to Ecological once I got back on the ground. The data was just updated. I'm really sorry. Wait, don't tell me right away. Not so fast, this is... How many years did it take? Go. In a short span of time after Galavia Stellaria poked through the barrier, the death rate of the 750 feet plants has exceeded 90%. The rest aren't expected to survive. Oof. Kristen, what exactly does it look like beyond the starport? You're fully aware of sharing the same possible fate, and yet you're unwilling to call off your trip? You've kept your promise to us all, but did you plan on traveling solo from the very beginning? Then Saria, she did not succeed at bringing her back home, no. Wait, the acceleration is still increasing, but your sun speed hasn't slowed at all. You're falling even faster than before. What's going on? Bullet? Shockwave from the energy oil must have messed up the return protocol, and that's how they all turn into pancakes. I can't reverse it. Both parachutes have failed. Their self-balancing system is about to malfunction. Wait, isn't this equipped with a gravity-related original arts module? Find the arts unit, quickly! Right. But the current high temps and energy shock from earlier have fired a third of the modules. Current height 3,454.7 meters. This was stopping it. I hate not being able to jump out of the pod right now to lighten it. The heat installation layer. The speed's too fast. The escape pod's layer is about to burn too completely. The damage rate is at 60%. I mean, I guess he did do some test launches before. That is what happened at the start of the side story, right? But I feel like, yeah, you should have really tested this. The wall is deforming. It will disintegrate at this rate. Oh. Rip. Bullet, son of a bitch. Could I have passed out after installing the arts unit? How can this be? All return to core structures have gone through several rounds of testing. There's no simulation that can reduce the passenger cabin returning to the ground from maximum height. Science requires first-hand verification, and that's what we're doing right now. We should head to the inner cabin. ASAP. The seats are cushioned and there are oxygen masks. We might just... At this rate, we'll hit the ground in a minute. No one's gonna survive. Shit, we don't even have time to record a final video message. There are people waiting for you. The tremendous centrifugal force forced Cloud against the corridor's bulkhead. His face is pressed against the glass, and he sees a small, shiny spike. No, it's a person. A figure tightly bound in thick layers of calcium. I love just imagine Saria standing on it. Not affected at all, just in a calcium suit. He confirms what he is seeing. But this means that the opposite figure is falling at the same speed as them, and maybe even faster. Director Xavier? He's probably passed out at such a height. In the thickest calcium becomes a fragile layer of eggshell, and she herself doesn't even bigger than it. Damn it. Water. Vast body of water. Water seeps from the escape pod's bulkhead, swatching in mid-air like a living organism. The escape pod is falling at high speed. A large river of water is being towed by gravity and vaporizing, but several thick walls still manage to form in the direction Xavier is falling. Or at least we will save her. Cloud feels like he is seeing a lake without a shore or a lake bed. He looks at it from the bottom and the waves are folding in layers as they sway over his head. He wasn't currently busy trying to save himself. He feels as if we must follow and learn from the Earth's ports on how to look for the right words to describe the scene in front of him. I mean, it must look beautiful. Water also rises in the cabin, and he is pushed back in the interior. This is where Muleside just carries. Director Muleside, you're melting? Xavier, I guess you did end up fighting with Kristen after all. So you knew you couldn't stop her. In the end, you couldn't do anything. These water barriers can give you somewhat of a buffer. So if you can, I hope you live. I assume this was also just a water clone then, right? Shucks, I probably look real ugly like this. But if I could go back and had this level of determination to pump all the water out of me like right now, would I have changed a lot of things? The water gently envelopes everything in its body. All combatants control employees, prepare for impact. Hold your breath. It's easy to choke when you're submerged in water. Go and meet the people waiting for you. Oh, this was mere size. Imagine reading with talking. The first New Year's Eve after the founding of Vine Lab. Before the show ended, did they actually dance together? A dance of three? She has kind of forgotten. It surely could have worked. So what is the actual sky like? Xavier, what did you see? Just the sky? That's right. A sky I sat on this dump as a kid, watching my parents test flight after flight from the hill in front of us. Later, they brought me along. After they died, I never came back here, until now. You are the first, and that's why you hate the sky? We were 10 now, having just witnessed everyone's reaction to the deaths and just finished going through their belongings. I would tell you, yes. But that's not my current answer in mind. Very special questions this division and bills from corporate and government sectors. These factors didn't hold my parents back. They're not even worth mentioning. All the way my parents staunchly advanced towards their goals, and they only lost to themselves in the end. The journey doesn't end prematurely, I too will willingly die on the way there. Don't say something that ominous. Will I succeed? I don't know, but I'm not set on doing it. I inherited everything from my parents, and I've even gone further than they did. Listen. Xavier, I'm not asking anything from you, just sharing some past events with my best friend. I understand. So any thoughts? Aren't you merely sharing your story? Oh, you're such a burden beast. Say something at least. Cool story, bro. The sky is really beautiful. She knows that no one has even seen the view at such high altitude, from such a position. Not the Galavia Solavia is getting further and further away from her, but she cannot open her eyes. She is falling at high speed. The wind howls, skivering against her face like a knife. The cold, thin air rushes into her nasal cavities, making breathing difficult. Raw calcium accumulates in a frenzy, forming a thick, crystalline layer around her body, so as to prevent her dying from the violent air friction. But she cannot do anything about the impact when she lands. It was already over. The vertigo from weightlessness hits her. No matter how hard she resists, she loses consciousness. Falling thousands of meters from the sky obviously only takes a few minutes, But why is it taking so long to experience death? Because you're not dying. She vaguely senses herself falling onto the surface of water. Her speed somewhat slowing down, but afterwards, amidst the burst of mechanical buzzing, feels like as if she has fallen into the clouds again. How soft it was. Savia. Savia! Sounds like someone is calling for her. Familiar voice. Yippee, we made it back. Okay, that was not a good cough. That was actually very bad for my throat. Fuck me. My apologies. Won't say anything yet. Eye movement response normal. There should be local internal bleeding, but cardiopulmonary functions are normal. The impact caused multiple external injuries. A slightly torn flexor tendon in the left leg. Apply a temporary treatment on the affected area. Fortunately, there isn't any serious damage to your bodily functions. When you return to Remorse, you need to undergo a comprehensive medical exam. Probably all your organs are dead. Sorry, you have a headache. I'm fine. Good. And crush your throne and these air cushions. It's fine. Where's Ivrit? Is she not with you? You joined the search and rescue efforts too. She should be nearby. Let's go meet up with her. Can you stand? Come, I'll help you up. Silence. Thanks. Aww. Now we can work towards a new bright future. The clouds have parted. And now we can get an even more clearer view of the sky. Yes, the sky is really beautiful. Are you not going to ask your question? Ask what? What happened in the Galleria Solaria? Should read the comic. When I have time, man. There's so much story. There is so much story in this video game. Like, right now I'm still finishing some of the side story collections I should read before I start with the third story arc. Would you tell me? I need some time. Then, do you want to know? Know what? What happened down here when you went to stop Kristen? Will you tell me? I will. I need to know everything, likewise, Savia. I need you to be fully informed, to be better prepared. This is the only way we can ensure that we won't make any missteps on the road ahead of us. Sounds like I already have an idea. Hold on to my shoulder. The road is hard to walk and I have no way of lifting you up completely, so you have to go together. Cloud, Banshee, Johann, Bullet! The escape pod makes a deep hole in the ground, and the hatch flies out, smashing a boulder into pieces. Then the cabin has completely warped, infrastructure and equipment looking as if they were wrung out by a pair of hands. I'm over here. What a relief. You're all alright. They all made it. Yippee! I'm alive. I loved my unnamed NPCs. Wasn't the escape pod malfunctioning? We dropped from altitude of over 5,000 meters and we're still alive. Easy on the hack, it hurts. Seems like those arse marshals managed to help us decelerate a little after all. Don't get cocky now, Bullet. You know, you're the luckiest one out of all of us here, hitting your head on the console and passing out at our most critical moment. At least you did not have to fear for your life or something anymore. And then waking up just as we landed safely. Must have been Annie's spares working on you, huh? Aren't you guys getting married next year? Let's go. Hey, why do I feel like I drowned earlier? Or if you're soaking wet too? Sounds like the pod landed in a lake. So what even happened? Muleside vaporized herself. Have you guys seen the Vector Muleside? Water still flowing out of the bulkhead, connected to the escape pod. There's no mud in the area. The night breeze will soon dry up the earth. I mean, she did some bullshit. She's fine. Damn it, Calcite. You must admit that we are alike. Empathy with Dr. Liver's emotions merely comes from an emotional module that has yet to be erased even after these tens of thousands of years. I'm not Thistle himself, merely a tool that was made. But you are of more flesh and blood than I am, with more freedom. This makes me feel a little envious. Have you considered making a nice VTuber car for yourself? I didn't want to press this button. That would work. Any words of comfort will sound like I'm belittling your mission, Thistle. I'm glad to have a life like this, and not just this one. I'm glad that I'm not just a simple machine. I've already been searching for the original answer from the very moment I began my walk in the dust of disappointment. I've experienced more direct losses than you have, but I can also see that I've gained more in return. If everything here had yet to happen, I might even have been able to travel to the land currently known as Terra, just like Dr. Liver did once. Is there a chance I'll be happy to take it? Fucking what? You know, that's just a nice VTubing robot, okay? I have a request. You're the only one who knows how to operate the system, so I would like you to erase the twisted data spanning 4,765 403 days. Okay, this is where we calculate. How many years is this? 4,000. I mean, it shouldn't be like. Okay, so I also did read the number wrong when I said it, but you know, that's when you just imagine reading the lines before your voice act them. It's been 2 years. That's only like what? So this is what? It's only like 13,046, like 30,047 years. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's only a small amount. Don't forget about. Okay, I you know what? No mercy. I won't. Okay, it's not that important to be that accurate. Keep only my emotions and original memories. Let me die as Trevor Thistle, even if I can only die as a replica. I understand your decision, but this process will take a lot of time, and you will gradually slide into despair in the process. Yippee! I wish to face the skies that were once free, but not as a lofty judge in an ivory tower, nor as a ghost. At least, let me face the remorse and guilt I have as a person. I'm sending my compatriots to their doom with my own hands. Let me, at the very least, see from a purest perspective how you will face the future. To think of that sky, this is my final wish. You don't have to blame yourself like that. Thank you. You might call this arrogance, but I must say this nonetheless. The weight of life, and the weight of civilization, I can't possibly even begin to imagine how heavy it is right now. No one has the capability to decide for others what the value of their lives are. This belongs to the past, so I will not go too deep into it. But please remember this, Dr. Liver. This will sooner or later become a multiple choice question about the present. It will be extremely important to you. I love my multiple choice questions. But presently, I'll say this again. Thank you. This is the final thing I can say. Go, Calcite. I've already granted all privileges. Let me meet my end as a person. Respect your decision. Please wait just a moment. Is there no other choice? We could make a robot. Doctor, the doctor that knows nothing. I don't know how much you know, how much Calcite has told you. But now, before I lose all this data, let me answer your questions. Kristen also asked me innumerable questions. I answered them all, and if it was necessary, I even showed her the answers. After witnessing everything with her own eyes, she did not lose herself. That is impressive. Her ideals did not even waver the slightest. She did not see her own existence as inferior thereafter. I admire that character of hers, and so to be fair, will also treat you the same, Dr. Lima. Perhaps this personality of obsession is also present from Favor Fisten. Who is Priestess? And what is Originum? Well, Doctor, you will find out if you play just some nice side stories in the future. Don't worry about it. These two questions are not as different as you might imagine. Originum? Even if you lost your memories, even if you just learned it far exceeds the categories of the infected, catastrophes of arts, you're still keenly aware how important Originum is. That is the way to go. Calcite knows some answers, but I think she won't be able to tell you. Oof. Are you calling Calcite stupid? Come on, they cannot do this. Beasts will not allow her to. This restriction is carved into the depths of her original consciousness, and even death will not free her from those shackles. Interesting. Why forbid that door? Calcite is so... Excuse me? Musty? Why would you say this? You know what? You don't deserve to get Calcite out in the future as a mage. So, should I really tell you the answer? Perhaps Calcite is afraid that the truth might loosen your memories and turn the tables on your hard-earned developments. Though I believe you have already done some preparations on your end. I can give you the answer, but not in its entirety. I don't even know what your past was like. My birth and isolation from the outside world happened far earlier than you think. Originum was just one out of the many innumerable answers. Originum means unification. Originum means another state of existence. I love just being one with Vogue and getting all my data saved. Like the Ocean of Solaris, where everything exists within this order. Oh yes, you have yet to even realize the contradiction of it all. So far, Woods Island has been working towards curing neuropathy and solving the problems of the infected. Though you have also involved yourselves in outsider matters due to Calcite and Theresa's ideals. However, you, in the name of Woods Island, fight against Originum. This is the root of everything. I do not know what decisions Priestess made in the end. It seems that Calcite, with all the lives born on this land with free will, has no way to peacefully coexist with Originum. Originum can benefit humanity, but it can also destroy everything, so what if we put it on a different planet instead? Just like the fancied creatures in the ocean, and the endlessly expanding rift in the north. Priestess is the starting point of that madness, and you're once extremely close to her. So we can cure apathy. I'm incapable of guiding your next steps. Strictly speaking, Originum in just its current form, it has already exceeded my understanding of it. Apathy is not something that was carefully planned and produced. In the current situation, curing it is difficult, but there may be other ways you can stop or use it. Yippee! Your past with Priestess seems to be Calcite's greatest taboo, and I don't even have the full picture. According to my hypothesis, your appearance, participation, and amnesia, they are not without purpose. Yeah, I know, I did some bad things and then I upset Theresa. Happens. You have to find your own answers. Don't blame me for being so cryptic with my words. But sooner or later, when you face the truth of the past, you understand Calcite's thoughtful intentions. Stay patient. Stay true to yourself. Doctor? Calcite. You've already taken a huge step forward. But turn your head and look at what we faced. Victoria, Columbia, the infected are still being discriminated against. The flames of war might just spark in any place in terror at any time. We still have much more to do. There will be more and more layers of crisis in the future. The current situation will become even more worrisome. We'll fight together, right? You're the commander of Woods Island. The doctor Amia trusts. Yippee! We will find a way. And we had no idea back then. It was their release. Yeah. You. Fair enough. I'm delighted to have met you both in my final moments. I can already feel some data slipping away. Might even forget our conversation in just a few seconds. Having lost the support of your database, the emotional module will once again re-experience the loneliness of the past 1,000 millennia. No one knows what the consequences will be to compress all those years of emotion to just a few minutes. It's fine. I will destroy this bunker before the energy is depleted. We will need to escape in time. The Arknight's Vosk. I mean, that must have been such a baller anniversary. Like, I mean, they hinted at Priestess in the past already, I think, like even on live streams and stuff like that, from my understanding, very cryptically. But man, this must have been a banger. And I feel like it barely even answered things, it just gives you more questions. Thank you both. Wowsy. Unusual sound. I mean, me. Do you remember me? You? A living creature? Here? You must wait. Why is it so dark here? I mean... Me. Too long. Too dark. No! Yesterday 173,000 and fifth attempt. And the next. The next time. Can anyone hear me? Answer me. Please, where am I? I can't bear to hear any more of this. I don't know. There's no way for us outsiders to judge. If these cries of anguish are memories from the past, or the emotional module responding to the stress from processing all that compressed emotion. I only feel pity and respect. Calcite, have you experienced this before? Do you have any trauma you want to talk about? Me. I hate this. Damn it. Why must I suffer this torture? Why must it be me? If they all come back to life, myself won't be a living person. It's such a great sacrifice, and yet you've all abandoned me. Who is it that gave me such a duty? It was myself. Hey, is it me? Can I still be called a determination? Doctor, you should stop watching. Leaving now is the final act of respect we can give him. We have to find the exit. Oh, hi. Madame, over there. I knew something had happened underground when the cave collapsed. Let's leave this place first. Is this the man-made passage left behind by Kristen? Yes, I reckon it will lead us to the shaft. Only heaven knows why the army never discovered the secret path, because the army's incompetent, baby. The Preserver had not shut down its system. It would have been impossible for you to find this passage. What happened to Holiak? I have her trapped outside, and Mela and I will have a nice long chat with her later. Well, she's gonna be enslaved forever or some bullshit. She will not have a nice life. Madam, I need to know. There was nothing other than an old man marching towards death. And as for what those deaths mean, I want to say they have absolutely nothing to do with Castle. I shall not pry any further, unless a certain matter prompts me to. Walk this way. Me. I am Trevor Friston. What has happened? What have I become? Who turned off the lights? I should report that punk to the... It was you. You are the punk. I failed, haven't I? After how many years? How many years has it been? Ah. That damn tin can. This has decided to fill my blood by yet. Where am I? Who are you? What are you? What are you talking about? Why do you have a tail? The feathers on your head. It's not an accessory or a weird fashion trend either. Just what sort of place am I in? These are sarcophagi, hundreds and thousands of them. Question, oh question, so this is the god you spoke of? Pretty different from what I imagined. He looks, very sleek. Greetings, if this is indeed a courtyard full of oracles, the destination of charity. Can you install in me wings from the blood of the Kukulkan? Can you show me the wind and thunder, the glorious soaring in the skies, the magnificent forms? I come to you bringing 451 years of obsession from the Kukulkan people, only for your approval and your answer. So that's how it is. I'm starting to understand. My existence is fading away. I'm dying. But this sure sounds like something a bastard like me would do. Don't you think it's too stuffy here? For a place deemed a destination, it's too stifling. I've hated bunkers ever since I was little. I'd thought, why not hide within an asteroid belt instead? What will I become? My knowledge, my desires, will they disappear into thin air as I gain power? If you would be willing to speak in a language I understand, God. Sorry, we're just having two different conversations. But I have no idea what kind of creature you are. How do you know what the sounds you are making mean? Oof. But in a dying old man's final vision, you are on the true path, yes. I so badly want to see her one more time, my morning light. Oh. Oh, does she get to debate? An icy wind blows over Holyhex without a trace of any dust. In a blink of an eye, she finds herself in the wilderness. Hallucination? Arts? What kind of original arts is this? This is how that crazy god has given her his answers? Holyhex looks around in all directions and does not find anything matching what she had in mind. She only sees a pair of father and daughter playing by the water. A girl sporting long and familiar locks of pale gold. A girl who looks a lot like Kristen. Holyhex waits patiently. This expects this boring realistic scene to change, but nothing happens. So yeah, that's the only thing left on TV. She's devout enough, but nothing in front of her changes. So what does this actually all mean? Please don't waste my time. There's no response. Holyhex is starting to feel wary. He tries to get closer to the pair, but to no avail, failing to identify their faces. Until the sky. Until the father picks his daughter up and they look towards the sky. Well, now does Holyhex discover in the view she had gotten too familiar with, there's something that even Kristen's wildest description had mentioned. She sees a gigantic, enormous moon. So does it mean that the barrier's something kinda more recent then? The ground under her feet no longer feels real. The surrounding temperature seems to rise. Holyhex stares wide at the instrument. The fluid glimpse leaves her to no room to think. But a preposterous thought appears in her mind. Was that terror? What was that just now? What did you do? Is it arts? No, it's a pharaoh with its power, or witchcraft like the Tin Man's. Silence. I love silence, exactly. Holyhex is completely unaware, but she's the only one who has left that beautiful dreamland. Hey, that is what Kristen saw, and what she said was completely right. Kristen right, you really do invite jealousy. This is the enlightenment that your god has left me. How cool of you all, denying me of my pursuits, my entire life, from my birth till now. After denying everything, God has fallen silent, and if only you could have got here a day sooner. No, I don't approve. I won't allow it. You can't die just yet. So you failed to stop Quiz. I already know what happened up there. Too many things have happened. My head is hurting a little. Very sorry about that. I need to formally enter negotiations of the Mainlander Foundation. I'll explain later. I'm also very curious to know what exactly has happened in Timor. We're almost there. Remember, Dame Calcite? The moment we arrive at the shaft, we are no longer simple collaborators. If you do not cooperate with us, I will have to resort to force. Let's beat up the Tin Man. Me. As you wish. What's with all the tension? If I kill this tin can again, I'll still learn a little something. And shouldn't the other Asians have caught you by now? Fuck this fucking tin can. I mean, he doesn't seem that bad, but maybe... I mean, maybe he is that bad. That's not important. But I think it's best for none of us to act rashly now. Don't mess the situation up. You're not exactly breathing deeply either. I'm really curious, Doctor. The lineage of the Elders, the Kukulkan source of power. Are these things even considered secrets to you in Calcite? And this... Okay, yeah, understandable. I'm not the biggest fan of her. Okay, that is just okay, Doctor, that is fucking rude. Okay. No comment. Oh, cold. There's something I want to understand. The entire course of my quest has been invaluable. Yet after finding the answer, people only know to sing its praises. She is rude as well. Yeah, but see, the moral point you need to do is be nice even to rude people, okay? If after resolutely tumbling on a triangle answer, I wish to continue searching for the future. I think what she did to Momo was quite mean. Ooh. Can I come find you people? You should first face the charges from the Mainlander Foundation. Of course, I won't show up empty-handed. You won't be able to guess what I retrieved from hell. Your staff? No, I have a robot. What have you done? Your unusual arts can store memories. Could it be that you... Perhaps I rescued a god that almost succumbed to dementia, but in the end it's not even considered a living being, and it's too difficult for me alone to help it recover. So perhaps you can help me, since you might not want these things to fall into Colombian hands. Man, she's basically already blackmailing us. You want to drive a wedge between us and the Mainlander Foundation? I've already brought it out into the open. The Tin Man has seen it too. You still have a choice to make. And no matter what you think of it, Dame Calcite's face already looks like she agrees. Calcite? Time to punch. My guess is... Don't have the right to call the shots here, Tin Man. Oh. This is how you do a job. Man, that is... I'm so stupid. I forgot that what I actually should be doing for my interviews is just roll up and like just have an USB stick with me and go like, this data, if it falls into the hands of your competitors, you're ruined. So you better hire me right now. Oh? The reason why you haven't looked into the underground at all yet is because someone above you has already made the decision for you. But that person has enough foresight to guess everything that has happened here. That is a spooky thought. Even if the power to make decisions isn't with me right now, I should have been killing Holiak to retrieve his legacy is a more reasonable thing to do. About that, your boss should also know just which party has the capabilities to restore him. Notching Holiak's arts unit will only add to the gigantic pile of the Mainlander Historical Association's archaeological discoveries. That one will not allow Mainlander to act against Woods Island. The cursing efforts also fall flat, Holiak. You can only hand it over to me, or will hand you over to the Tin Man. That's a hard, oppressive feeling. But you even been keeping this strange thing by your side. It's meaningless to fight here. Let's all return to more first. I mean, to be fair, like, Holyark is still getting out of this, like, very well, you know? It's just the wonder that she just doesn't end up dead and that instead can, like, join Mold's Island. After that, we can negotiate in the open. It's right in front of us. We can go up from here. Sure as we're leaving to leave that place. Wait, that thing in the sky. Getting employed might be worse than that. I had those thoughts before, and then I was like, money is also nice. And living. Living is also nice. A clear view of the torn sky can be seen through the tunnel leading to the shaft. Humanity will reach the steps sooner or later. Piston, I hope you don't bring us disaster in Terra's name. More or less. Right? Now all the nations have some nice things to discuss. Maybe we'll get finally the space race I want to see. I want to see Columbian versus space race. I see, then. I guess was right, madame. I will take my leave for the moment. I'll be outside waiting. What the heck? What, you're leaving already? An expected bargain chip in your hand. But it's also your final chance. And over the thing you got from me all. I'm so very sorry, Mr. Tenkan, but I've lost all interest in the mainland and historic restoration's history. Now then, Doctor. Why did you give it to me now? Remember this choice you've made. You're not on equal standing, madame. An openly honest negotiation may not be in the cards. Why did the Tin Man leave early? Contact Osmandas ASAP. You need to be wary of any other surprises. What the heck? I'm grateful for your choice, but I need you to try to find a different escape route from the direction the Tin Man left. What? Not sure I'll be able to defeat this black plaything of yours. Not being wary of you, but rather want to make sure there's another way out. Gosh, I didn't even sign an employment contract, but I have to start work already? That's how it goes. Welcome to current year's climate of just having to work for free if you want a position in life or something. What's Island couldn't possibly leave you alone to your own devices to moment you handed over the data to us in front of the Tin Man, could we? What's up ahead? I'm sure you can guess. I suppose I can. I'll find another way up. To make sure that when we leave here, we're not greeted by an armored division. It's quiet. In the aftermath of those unfathomable energy waves tearing through the skies, the facility that should be full of scientists, soldiers and workers is now completely empty. You and Calcite toil between these structures without exchanging a single word. There's so much information to go through, and so much history. Perhaps only after seeing the smiles of Ifrit and Rosmontes, and hearing some firm words from Saria again, will you only feel at ease. But a discomforting feeling lingers in your mind. Light flashes across the edges of your peripheral vision. Wait, Calcite. What is this on the screens? Nice to meet you two, Doctor of Volt's Island. Dame Calcite is the president. We have taken over this facility. Every screen and all surveillance equipment will expose your whereabouts. So please, do not attempt escape. On behalf of the Colombian government, I hope to hold an ad hoc private meeting with the both of you. This might have happened earlier than you expected, but I just want to get on with it. I won't wait any longer. In a dimly lit building, the lights of a large screen flickers a few times, and then a familiar figure appears. Oh, it's not even the real president. What's the point? The second in command of the fledgling country's leader is in no hurry to speak. He only faces you with that iconic smile of his. You start wondering, you feel some kind of pressure. Soon after, you cannot help yourself from turning your attention onto the pet version of the shoulder all along. Okay, can we finally address it? I was wondering since the start what the hell this is. You sneak a glance at Calcite. There's an obvious, somewhat gloomy expression on your face. Wait, is the... I see. I see. Okay, no, I love this president. I would vote for them. Mr. President. The vice president does not react. But his pet just happens to begin talking. Been a long time, Dame Calcite. How long has it been since we had a conversation like this? After that little thing you and me, Lander, put together. It is... Honestly, this was one of the twists I did not expect. I love it. I thought you would be staying in Colombia, but then I blinked and you were in Sagan. And then who knows where else you went after that. I do know that the biggest event is the election of the vice president, yes. So I assume the president is also then just basically one of the more beings that, well, probably that just rules the country. That's the thing I wanted to mention sometime last week. I mean, I did hear that, yeah, they were just doing elections for vice president, but man. It's a shame. If you were together with the Melander Celine herself, you could have really done something for Colombia. And then maybe the people wouldn't have needed to wait for a vice president to be born. For a vice president to be born, huh? Fucking birds in this? No, I love this bird. You wouldn't have come here just to exchange pleasantries, Mr. President. Oh, sorry. You wouldn't have come here just to exchange pleasantries, Mr. President. Of course, this is a personal meeting. Yes, my father. Sorry, I don't think I can help with that one. Father? Well, I can wonder how. Well, honestly, after all of this, I wonder what Unrealized Realities will be about. It's gonna be spooky, but also it's not relevant from the main story, so I will only see in like 5 years. The animals you've seen in this game are really powerful in different means. Yeah, that's basically all I've gathered so far from the side stories I did and this main story. Every time an actual animal shows up, something is up. But hey, I love Miss Christine or something. You're holding onto his ashes, the remnants of his soul. Hey, let me touch him. I never got to meet him, but he's the last thing in this world that has any relation to me. There's also PRTS. You are PRTS. We come from the same roots. Ah. We come from the same roots? How the hell would... I guess are all the basically animals also from space at least, and basically the ancient race bring them all over? But now we're drifting apart. I had some words for him. He's gone. Oh, that was your... Ah. Farafis is dead. I always see. Enjoy your pizza. I've just learned that this bird is the president of the United States, basically. Terroristen is dead. He's pinned his hopes on this land? A world that has absolutely nothing to do with his own lonely self? Yes. If that's his way, then he had better leave. I respect his feelings. He'll be able to fix his shattered self faster than the Mainland Historical Association can. I guess this is where all the orders from above came to Mr. Tinman to basically keep us alive, to go to the facilities, and yeah, why they actually also allow us to keep the data on Tristan, because he might have a weak spot for his father. Same argument. Current USA president. Imagine if the USA would just be ruled by an ancient bird. I think that would improve the country a lot. But remember this. We will collate our wills. We'll seize the truth of everything. Columbia will become the sword and shield of terror. Just as he wished. This is the best condolence that I, President of Columbia. Okay, Mark Max. Okay, Mark Max. I love your name. Can offer to a dying era. This never wanted a tyrant, Max. Monster, destroy the cameras. Let's go. Right? I've heard people love the tyrant presidents though. Okay, I do hope we get some nice resolution out of Overswanders. I feel like, I guess there was a little bit of character development for Ifrit, but I would like to see more. Is the next chat about killing the last president? I probably assume no. But I might be wrong, I don't know. Narcissa, look how glorious the sky is. My field of research was far from Kristen's, but I must admit, she has achieved a groundbreaking feat that will instill fascination in every scientist there is. The scientific blueprint I once described to you is now being displayed to every single person in all its glory. Even those who are ignorant can now bask in the light of science. How blessed they are to be born in this era. There's something funny about that, oh no. Will there always be someone like you under every dream as big as this one? What you should be asking is, why must there be people like me to push dreams this big into reality? Yeah, why must there be scientists with no moral compass experimenting on children? This question shall haunt you forever. I only know how to judge right from wrong, just like what I'm doing to you right now. Thank you, Narcissa. All my ambitions, dreams and failures are residing within you, for you to make your judgment. Is this Ian? I feel like, all things considered, Ian might... I feel like Ian overall is a better person than Loken. Fuck, I can't even write fuck. You're just self-censored because this is a family-friendly stream, yeah? All my ambitions, dreams, and failures residing with you, for you to make your judgment. So in the end, we'll also give you a gift. You have this IS module. Osmanthus turns her head back. Sitting in his wheelchair, Logan has his eyes closed and suddenly passes away. My final gift. Death. I'm beginning to understand what's going on. You did all these things just to see me, right? Just didn't want to die alone. You want to be remembered by me, live on within me. That's kind of very selfish. But no, I came here just to watch you die. Osmanthus takes out a diary from her pocket and writes a line in it. The criminal Logan Williams received the trial he deserved. She stares at the line for a while before putting the diary away. Now, I've forgotten you. I should go find the doctor and Calcite. I feel like maybe I could have I guess it wraps up basically this side plot for Mondes. I feel like they could have maybe done a bit more with that. My final gift is they don't have to deal with me anymore dies. Such a nice Christmas present. I should have bought some cigarettes earlier. I didn't expect you to be discarded so soon, Kukulkan. Surely you know how likable I am. Yes, yes, he exactly knows that. I'm serious. I was ready to fight a legion of power armors to the death. Yet this place is so deserted? Even amusement parks on federal holidays have better security than this. I'd like to know why myself. Perhaps Dame Calcite is skilled in the art of persuasion. She does have connections to some people high up. I mean, I do assume that we'll get more of her in the future, yeah, it's just... Yeah... I would like to basically see more of that character development now then, at least. So skilled she managed to convince even the mighty President of the Columbia Union? We out. Are you alright, Doctor? I'm fine. Just another nice Tuesday evening. Deep breaths. We spend too much time underground. Taking in too much information at once is indeed a burden on you. My apologies, Doctor. I wanted to wait a little longer until you are ready to face them, to respond to all the doubts and questions you have about yourself. What exactly counts as ready? Dame Calcite and Dr. Liver. You have managed to get a considerable time extension. I'm serious about getting my work done, Doctor. Perhaps we should kill Mr. Tin Can here and now. Forget it, this was a meaningless act. The President has rescinded the order, which honestly came as a surprise to me. Madame, fix whatever Holyak has handed over to you. I have no idea what it is or the scope of the damage. Mr. President has given you time. I don't know how long, but when your time's up, we will definitely retrieve what was lost. Should kill him anyways. But why do you hate this man so much? Is this a deal? Suppose. After all, you have abided by our previous agreement and have indeed helped us a lot the past few days. So in return, you can leave tomorrow safely and return to your landship. As for the doctor, I've already spent 3 days with the Colombian Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Arts and Division. I don't think West Island would want an updated criminal record. Thank you for letting me go. And as for Holyak, for the time being, I only ask this. She currently collaborated off Woods Islands. Can we say no? Woods Island will need her help. After all, she also made contact with the Tooth, so I can't just ignore her. Thank you, Calcite. Dame Calcite. And the doctor as well. She's on your reputations now. Well then, goodbye. Okay, wait, what do you want? And it's minutes? Okay, I will know in like 5 seconds when it actually loads. Alright, you two. We'll go meet with Osmontes and Ifrit, then leave tomorrow. Doctor, what are you looking at? Bubbles. It is Mew Mew. You suddenly notice that despite the considerable night breeze present, mud in front of you holds a tiny pool of bubbles yet to evaporate. Sporadic bubbles meander forward like a series of extremely light footsteps. What the... Did Muleside literally split herself in like small clones or something like that, or what? Yes, Bubbles, you look in the distance and discover that the skies of Timors is, in the moment before dawn, is full of fragile bubbles. Well, see, I'm going to look for someone first. Oh, I'm not signed in anymore. That sucks. I love 7TV. Vine Lab Headquarters Building Vivarium. You feel as if you just entered the bottom of a lake. There's no one, only dense light blue and the soft sound of water. A huge glass wing divides the entire space into two. Other than the narrow corridor on the outside, the rest of the vivarium has been entirely flooded like a lake. All the landplants are swaying as if they belonged in the water. You recall the vitality of your last visit here, but right now you can only hear their weak breathing. Look at all those trees. Pale fir is really my favorite one. A bubble floats from the pale fir and is rocked by the current, looking as if it could pop any time and disappear without a trace. You sigh? Did I wake you up? Doctor, why have you come? Yards are going to turn Timors into the capital of bubbles. Didn't expect you to see that. It was such a sorry sight, huh? Yes, I failed. Doctor, you didn't get into the Galleria Salamia, but I also got shut out. You almost killed Savia. The only thing I managed to do was try to save a handful of people. I already know what happened up there, so you don't have to say anymore. You're weak, Muleseye. Now she's transparent. Yippee! I love my trans icon. I pumped all the water from my body and expected myself to evaporate. But I only had a short and shallow sleep. Didn't even get to finish my dream. Can't even kill myself. I know it's hard, and I think there's people happy that you are still around. What would Saria think? Before you came in, I think I was leaving the orphanage in Twente with a kid version of myself. I think I saw a muleseye crouching next to a pale fir tree, lighting up the graves of my parents and my kin that I never met. I want to reach out and pat her on the shoulder. I think I met a muleseye who had just left Sami. Her hair was wet from the morning mist. She wasn't even holding her usual parasol. It was so cold. Her neck was tucked in and her head drooping. I never see myself so dispirited. Excuse me? Man, I can't believe you're a muleseye hater. Are you people living in the forests of Sami? There's a lot of Sami mentions in this one. They are hyping up the next IS for me for sure. Yep. When Minelab began the scientific investigation section and started the Sami exploration project, the footprints made it all the way to the ice fields in the remote north. Made a private request to Maggie. Was there actually any side story centered in Sami yet? Sami is really cool. I assume they need to bring some thick jackets and everything, yeah. It sounds very snowy. When Maggie contacted me, this place had just been built. This tiny vivarium that shouldn't even exist on Terra is an elvish garden. There is Sami story, let's go. Right. And I'm following the coordinates Maggie sent me. Deep in the forest in the middle of Sami, remote and cold, that bed of soil was locked up by the marsh and ice fields. Far from civilization, place you could hardly consider a paradise for elves. I saw a tree towering over the woodland, no different from what the other people of Sami live in and revere, but after just a few steps forward, saw the true home of nearly 100 elves. Yippee! An endless hollow beneath the tree, its thick branches entangling with one another, an ecosphere woven into the roots, as if it was encased in amber. Not sure if IS4 was directly signed, but at least a similar location. Fair enough. Rusty, you need to play more Arknights. I feel like you've been slacking. You think there was such a settlement for elves on Terra? But the they're unwilling to leave their homes. I don't know, Doctor. I couldn't even ask them a question like that. They were not hostile to me, but I had no way of integrating into the society. Not because of my metropolitan fit, but it was something natural separating us. We look similar, face the same struggle. We're clearly alike, and yet we're also complete strangers to one another. IS-4 is less fun than IS-3 though. Oof. See, so first you can have something fun and then you can have something bad. Yet no way of understanding or communicating with each other, like two waves of completely different frequencies. Doctor, I walked so far and finally found a tiny patch of forest and endless ice fields of Sami. But I'm not a leaf from a tree, I'm just a drop of water. The earth leans against the pale fur. They are moving with the topmost branches of the tree to the current. You can't make out the expression. But you still wanted to move the revival into the Galavia Stellaria. I needed to hold on to something. But Kristen abandoned me. Abandoned everyone. The so-called future that she left for us. Kristen suspended the Commandant's control section. Saria was thrown out of the Galavia into deep space. Almost turned herself into dust. The possibility I was pursuing has also been proven impossible. Duffy got herself into trouble because of the stuff at Site 359. Ferdinand has thrown himself to the army, and Paris, that old goat, seems to have died too. He just decided it's time to kill over, yeah. Get your rating max out. I probably should also do some more IS-6, like... I'm not sure how much I will even use rating outside of IS in the future, but I do still want to level up all your talents fully at some point. Hopefully before I fully finish the track, but I also still want to finish the track. I also am looking forward for the next IS in the sense that I kind of will be powerful for them at the start. So I can, like, from the beginning probably go to the higher difficulties and alternate endings. And the modules, I guess, I'm not sure what actually the opinion on the modules is, but I feel like the first module seems, at least with how I would play her, so much nicer than the second modules. I guess the second module is a lot of burst and DPS compared to just summoning. I can only reminiscence about things that have already turned into bubbles. Me, they were once as puzzles as was the air with hardly any original dust. It kept me from being so lonely. Right now you have new friends. I like the second one. Yeah, I mean, fair. Doctor, if I was destined to always be alone, and if discovering and resisting this thing called fate still only leaves me all alone, does that mean I'll never be able to rid myself of it? You attempt to get closer to Mule's Eye, but through the glass in the dense lake, she still seems to be far away. A bid farewell to someone before coming here. A friend. Somebody would say God. So besides Saria and the gang, you knew someone else in Tremor? You could say so. From the sound of it, you can't have seen them recently. But you left Tremor so soon just after your reunion? I should say that my time was just right. He was my kin. Kin? Then did you leave Tremor to go back to your homeland? You know, I was actually really curious about where you came from. This is redacted information. I did some investigating. Another time I snuck into Woods Island. I even tried looking for your files, but I found nothing. Is that because it's a secret? Or have you also been trying to find the answer? A bit of option A and a bit of option B. Just like me. What do you think? I want to know, when you met your kin, do you still remember what you were feeling then? Did you recognize each other easily? Would you understand each other? Would you provide comfort for each other's suffering? He never thought I would I never thought he would exist. I was unprepared, I understood some of his answers, but my bewilderment only grew. In the end, I only had enough time to see him off. No wonder you look so exhausted, Doctor. You stop moving, and Mulesai looks into your eyes through the glass across the still water. So you also get lonely, Dr. Liver? Occasionally. Then, have you ever wavered in your resolve? Will you doubt the significance of certain things because of it? IS-5? I mean, I've heard some people really liking it. I also heard that like it's kind of very easy to grind quickly with if you just start with a wizard there. To be fair, wizard is not just overpowered. What's Island? The upper waiters and fence by your side. Person who you forgot but still has been searching for. And yourself. Doctor, this vivarium will shut down soon. You should get out of here. You finally find the switch and the glass layer opens in response, but the lake without its banks does not pour out. The top of water held still by an invisible force. Like a bubble about to pop, the elf is about to escape into the leaves of the pale fir tree. Well, she just takes a long nap, right? You step into it. Aww. You'll drown. Don't worry about me. I just want to sleep a bit more. A bit longer. Before I came here, I was asked a similar question. My answer wasn't just as I always have been. Being alone is a type of strength, Mulesai. Even a machine-like person can be submerged in such an emotion. You will be sad, you will reminiscence, you will worry. And in the long term, it might not even improve. I love my loneliness. But it is indeed a kind of power. Every life experience that eventually fades away will still hold some meaning. I remember you said before that you don't like being prepared with questions. Yep. I will still hold out my hand, Mulesai. Gotta love IS-5 ending 2 and 5 though. Yeah, I've never played IS, so... one day, I do... Once I like fully do the story, which would take so much longer than it took Musty, for sure. I do still want to go to all the ISs at least a little bit on stream. Wait, what do you mean there's more? Okay. Right. The only certain thing is that we must keep moving forward. But yeah, I mean, I also only do the first two endings in the IS-6 so far. I tried IS ending 3, but I didn't finish it yet. And I mean, I've seen that the ending 5 of IS-6 seems just crazy. We get Ferdinand's story. I heard the prisons in Max DC have regulations banning any sharp objects, including pens. You're breaking the rules. Man just wants to write down his thoughts or something. They don't allow sunglasses either, Plague. I told you not to bother me when we got thrown in here together. I have important work that needs doing. You've had a stellar record the past few days. Why would you? I mean, I guess I do get why they would get thrown in prison, but why would you put them together even in? So I hope you can keep it up. Damn it. I used up all the draft paper. Wait, I can still write on the back. Like, help me out and ask the warden for some more. Lamp in Academia will thank you for your contribution. What the hell are you doing? There's no way you think we'll get to live, Ferdinand. Columbian law has never been lenient. So can't you just quietly wait for the end to come? Nah, that's not his style. If you want to keep busy, why not think about your last meal? You've wasted 2 minutes of my time. Which step was I at? To be fair, Ferdinand does kinda deserve death. Planning out your last meal? You think you're so funny, huh? I've no idea just how significant my work is. For the next century, any researcher arrogantly trying to step into the field of high-energy physics in vain will have to engrave my theories into their mind. He will praise my name, regard me as a king, as a prophet. He might have some complexes. Death, so what if I die? At least everybody will remember the Ferdinand calculation. Just you wait, Kristen. You think you're so amazing? It's Ferdinand Clooney who has brought the truth back down to the ground, you idiot. I'm glad to see you so hale and healthy, sir. It's time to release a few more prisoners. Of course, it's all thanks to you. A few days ago I heard some terrible rumors about remorse, but that's all in the past. I'm grateful that our Columbia has so many outstanding law enforcement personnel just like you. I hear you're about to be promoted even. Being a state attorney will bring out the best in you. It's honestly nothing compared to your business. My lab has expanded its technological investments and purchased more than a dozen labs in various fields. I used not to care about financial news at all, but I'm now a big fan, especially if the money keeps flowing. But now with a friend like you, Justin Jr., I have to do more than just stare at these cast iron railings in the days like I did before. I'll give you some stock tips. I'm glad to see you taking fate into your own hands. But I did come here on proper business this time. Those two, I've already got the orders from above. Yeah, Justin Jr. Just as before, it's nice to be working with you. Likewise. I have one more question. Which one did you want out? Just like before, madmen and freaks. Man, Ferdinand keeps on living. I hate this video game. You hear, Nasty? An interim meeting notice sent out by the already dissolved components control section. It's only been 2 weeks, and they've already reorganized Vine Lab. It's not just Vine Lab, Volvo Kuczynski and the Beach Brother too. The top tech companies in the city have all received notices and sent their representatives here. It's time for space travel. Who do you think organized this meeting? We'll know in just a moment. Don't lean your head towards me. I don't want my shoulders to get wet. Man. Stop bullying my muumuu. Nasty wrinkles her brows slightly, and a dead branch-like device around her waist suddenly extends. The moment it touches Mule's eye, another party disappears from sight, as if a bubble has just popped. Seems like you've recovered quickly enough to have the strength for this little trick of yours, Mule's eye. Dehydration isn't a serious thing to me. It's not difficult to treat it either. You just take a bath. I mean your mental state. I thought you would be at a complete collapse, hiding in the forest to cry. My friend talked me through it. Told me every life experience that eventually fades away will still hold some meaning. That was me. I am smart, baby. You're still as emotional as ever, needing others to soothe you. Hey, at least better than crying in the forest. No, Nasty, I just calm down and figure out something I'd overlooked before. The person appearing here at your side right now is, of course, the Rector of the Vine Lab Ecological Section, the youngest and leading authority on ecology in Vine Lab. That means... Wisdom passed on to me the biological data from the Galleria Stellarius Vivarium. None of the 753 plants survived, but before that, they managed to survive past the barrier and not die immediately after breaking through the starport. It's a height the Terrans never imagined a life could reach. What a gratifying experiment result. Nasty, I know what your dream is. The Sarkis' promised land could also be in the sky. Well, time to throw some vegetables into space. You must have collected the data encompassing the entire duration of the Galleria's launch into the skies, right? Well, I was standing close enough that day. The fireworks and energy sputtering everywhere very much resembled the sparks generated from the gears of the future turning. So you're saying that's enough to propel yourself back into research on many more platforms that will be bigger and more stable? What does it mean you've already begun? Does the rudimentary prototype of a city? No one ever said that nomadic cities would only crawl onto the ground. And me, I can fill the city up with life. So now our goals are aligned. To use your words, we're now going the same way. Let's go. The meeting's about to start. I wonder, maybe the nasty side story is then them preparing for more space travel and doing research into that, but... Olivia's silence. Authentication complete. Please proceed. Xavier. Authentication complete. Please proceed. Yippee, at least you don't throw her out. Science and Xavier walked through the long corridor, one after another, neither of them speaking a word, both of them enveloped in quietude. They stopped at the door of the conference room. Xavier, ask anything you have on your mind. Are you really ready? I thought you would have already thought this through while you were recovering. Science exists to transform society. This I don't doubt one bit. Likewise, you can also confirm the significance of Control's actions. As a researcher that hasn't been stunned by the tear in the sky. Okay, but did she have to kill herself? The real question we actually face is, what now? There's a whip in the sky. The truth has emerged before everyone's eyes. There's no reason to ignore its existence. But even if we all raise our heads, doesn't mean the problems under our feet will simply disappear. In science, once the current understanding of something has been toppled, the pace of progress will not be suspended, but accelerated. Countless constructions have been declared failures, while new fantasies have emerged, but scientists will eagerly tear down every cloud in the sky, and the ordinary people busy living their lives will be soaked by the rain the entire time. This is how reality is, and we can only accept it. It is inevitable to make sacrifices in the pursuit of dreams. Well, I guess that's how it is. We've heard into enough phases like this. There's no reality impossible to change, and no sacrifice justifiable. Well, surely now there would be no mad scientists left in Columbia, right? Especially not someone like Ferdinand. Most people can only be compelled to choose between dreams and reality. I must become the bridge between the two. Ethical reviews, capital supervision, project evaluation. Yeah, that's something maybe they should have had from the start. Will tighten the veins of order. I will use methods all manner of scientists will think pedantic and cumbersome, restrict them all. I will become a monitor, a buffer zone, a railroad switch. In short, I'm well qualified to be a villain. I mean, I guess some scientists will look at you this way and go like, you're stifling our progress, but have you considered not just doing experiments on humans? I will see to it science becomes a clear, incisive look at every one of us. Silence. I don't know how exactly you managed to drum up support enough to change the more scientific and technological communities, but you should know this. No matter the power of the government or Mailander, it shows you not for your worries and zeal. I know, but if our goals are aligned, I'm willing to accept it. Silence grabs the door handle. She stops suddenly and turns to look at Xavier. Her gaze burns, and for a moment Xavier almost wants to run from it. Surely you haven't forgotten, Xavier. This is exactly what you wanted to do before. You're hesitant. If you're given up, then I will do it. Dozens of eye focus on her. To be honest, such a feeling of being noticed by everyone is not so pleasant to experience. Silence takes a deep breath and responds to those expressions of surprise, astonishment, and ridicule one by one. After a long moment of time, she steps inside. Hello everyone, my name is Olivia Silence, sponsor of the Timor's Ethics and Scientific Research Joint Declaration. I stand here today because... points at all of this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No. Back then, I merely provided Miss Penny with an audition opportunity in Rankwood. It really is nothing compared to the help you provided us this time. Yes, that girl is most probably just about to drown in the pool of various company representatives. I do hope she will be able to handle that situation. After all, this will be the new normal for her in the future. Such worries are indeed superfluous. These youth are indeed not lacking in courage, and they always run so fast. All we can do is to accompany them on their journey. Absolutely right, I've become an old lady who loves to worry. A golf game next month? Sorry, I don't think I'll be able to join you this time. Yes, Mr. Chairman, I no longer have a reason to remain with Vinelab. Man, I will consider joining Woods Island. And besides, I'm at past retirement age. It should be a long and extensive vacation. I'm so sorry, Miss Java, but I've gone the wrong way. I'll just ask the nearby residents if we change the direction now. I should be able to make it to the nearest nomadic city for a pit stop. That's fine, just continue driving this way. That would delay you eternally. I just flipped to the geographical magazine in this car. Continue this way for 10 more kilometers. There should be a winery up ahead. Let's go, let's get this drunk. The magazine says the wines there have an exceptional texture. Winery insists on a limited supply to only specific distributors. For decades has refused to expand the scale of the wine yet. So I'm curious. People here have been so antsy lately over that Vinelab incident. So I thought you want to get out of Tomos as soon as possible. I won't give the veterinary a hard time. Besides, just look at the wonderful scenery we have here. A wind blows from far away, and Java adjusts her glasses, lifting her gaze to the sky. The clouds are moving quickly, and a single star faintly appears amidst the twilight. The sky appears as lofty as ever. After a long time, she gently waves her hand. Ryo thinks she was calling him, quickly opens the door for her. Safe travels. Let's go. Lights out. Everything's done. Lavia Stelavia service cabin shutting down. Lavia Stelavia observation field shutting down. But the vivarium. Oh, she's gonna be sad. Calavia Stelavia Vivarium shutting down. "5 days, 8 hours and 43 minutes. According to Tava's time. After breaking through the barrier, the Galavia is persisting beyond my expectations. I thought he would have died soon, I'm not gonna lie. Not long after, these cabins condensing the most advanced science and technology in Terra will be reduced to dust. The Galavia Stelavia was never equipped with the technology and conditions required for interstellar travel. So I remember first scoffing at Nasty's plans when she handed them over. And now, I will lie down in the life support hibernation pod that Loken developed. So I have at least something. So what you're saying is we can retrieve Kristen. We could never simulate the actual environment back on the ground. I'm not exactly sure how long I can survive. Now it's time for a space operation. Galavia Stelavia Planetarium shutting down. The entire Galavia Stelavia has shut down. Life support hibernation pod will activate in 5 minutes. Please be seated at once. The universe. The first time I learned of this concept from Kristen. I had no way of envisioning how encompassing, boundless, magnificent, beautiful and touching it could be. It stretches past our horizons, exceeding what we have constructed with our barren imaginations, beyond what words can describe. I pity, can only record my words as an audio file. From what I can see to this boundless curtain that has made it difficult to discern any colors, our terror is surrounded by stardust, no fulcrum or rope supporting it as it rotates on its own and by itself. The stars bend into one another, and any measurement of distance, size, or shape is meaningless. This universe is so deep that makes you speechless, makes you feel a deep sense of awe. So I observe with just the naked eye. The stars look similar to Terra. These were once in our visions, mere decorations dotting the night sky, but they share the same existence as us. Perhaps life also exists on them, the same flames of love and hate, terrible disasters, grand plans and romance, as well as mundane struggles and persistence going on stage over and over again. The history written by creation and destruction of the civilizations, with innumerable magnificent miracles, names that shine and bloated titles added into the footnotes before they all return to dust. Or she even has flowers. Would they know a universe exists? Are they our enemies or neighbors we can get along with? It's possible. Perhaps everyone should try to understand us in this position. Understand the land, sky, and sea we rely on to live. She has experienced... Isn't it a real thing that once you like see Earth from outer space, that you have like this spiritual moment basically where you realize how small you are and you know how we humans should maybe not try to do all the bad things to each other. Understand where exactly we are in the history of humanity, where exactly that entire history belongs in the universe. And then will we be qualified to consider what direction to head in. I'm not that small. I mean, I guess you are taller than me, but... Life support hibernation pod will close in 1 minute. Please be seated immediately. Repeat. Life support hibernation pod will close in 1 minute. Please be seated immediately. The hibernation record. Vital signs are normal. Emotions are relatively stable. It's really gratifying to see that all the plants here are still alive. A pity that Musa has no way to obtain this data. Man. Throughout Kristen's entire life, there have only been 2 times where she truly felt alive. The first time, Savia, when I brought you back to my hometown, on that hillside where I told you about the beginning of everything. The second time is now. I've just realized mine and my parents' dream. Whatever happens next is merely the start of a continuation. On a clear night, find a spot with a wide and open view, and set up a telescope. There will be a single star twinkling for you in the sky. Well then, good night, Terra. Porcelain. Good night, universe. Okay, surely at some point she gets recovered from her hibernation. If, in a century or a millennium, our descendants walk among the stars, the masses will sing her praises. Nobody when I played Enfield mentioned her, so... Don't know, man. Or maybe they did and I just did not realize. Who are you? A guardian lacking any purpose, watching our overkin, fathers and compatriots who will never wake up. What are these? Life support devices far beyond what your comprehension. They do not rely on the wisdom you are familiar with, but tens of thousands of years is enough to wear them down to nothing. Now they are merely coffins for the deceased, just like in the olden days. Why do you seem so close to humanity? In our darkest days, it was only human nature that led us avert a much more complete destruction. Well, this means nothing but endless torment for me. Well, you're free now. Is the sky false? That feels like a very random question to ask out of the blue, but sure. Not exactly. A barrier makes Terra and Cape Birth charging towards the stars. Light has been distorted accordingly, preventing people from ever understanding the true implications of their world. Only the stars are beyond any doubt. They exist. What does the universe look like? An interesting question. When any creature capable of capturing light turns its head up to the sky, it will be subdued by an endless ocean of stars. Anonymous, magnificent, beautiful. But in my eyes, the void merely means ruin, a chilling desolation. Are the stars just like terror? No, terror is rather small compared to them. Even stars 10 of millions of times larger than terror, like star number 4, I love star number 4, would completely disappear into the gigantic black hole of the Soviet Nebula. The satellite airways outside Talos can even manipulate the geographical properties of a planet like this. I see. Talos mentioned. Why do the Sancta have halos and wings? Because of your space god. The icy chain of command gives them an identity. It is dangerous to start a machine lacking any self-awareness in the name of a god. For a mission, it cannot even understand. Interesting. Have you ever seen a bird and beast? The creatures known to you as bird and beasts have not changed too drastically in the course of evolution. The tenacity is as durable as the planet itself. People should treat them with more humility and respect. What is it like to travel by sea? I can only tell you what assimilation feels like. Flying across the ocean of a planet is just like wrapping yourself in a blue silk scarf, and yet the bright blue is always fleeting. Man, first more support. Kristen, say your piece. Following all of this, do you still intend on gambling with your life to tear open the sky? Terra is ill-prepared, and your death will be without meaning or reason. I mean, there's still some meaning to it, right? It is basically kinda gambling on a new hope. Allow me to ask you a final question to serve as my answer. Ask your question. Our careers, cities, homes, art, as well as our cool history. Suffering, war, catastrophes and arrogance that destroys everything. Bands of thoughts and ideals, greatness granted by others, and equally gifted from birth, the civilization born in this tiny patch of wilderness, and everything that we have ever loved without compare. What do they inevitably mean, or what is it that life ultimately seeks? Now the answer is 42. It's that easy. Any more questions? But yeah, I do understand why people rate the side story so high. I don't think it would be my favorite, but I guess I need to also digest. I still feel like start kinda meh. I feel like they could have maybe done a bit more with Ifrit and Vasmontes. I guess it was kinda also just to show off how bad the scientists of Columbia really are, I feel like, in a sense, and stuff like that. But maybe I also just want more Vasmontes and Ifrit content because I did not do other side stories with them or something like that. Or maybe we'll get them. Honestly, yeah, overall pretty solid. Like, at release, I think this must have been so hype. That must have been like, I'm not sure if it would have been the anniversary, or maybe it would have just been in between, but yeah, that must have been balling. Like, getting to finally just talk to the Observer. I also do
박사,
wonder about this now. Maybe at some point I will commit to actually reading two operator things. But yes, this is kind of very convenient time to stop my stream. Yippee! So is anybody I know streaming? I guess we can meet Starlight. Well, have a nice evening and rest of the day. I will play next at least. I mean, I guess the X stage is also gonna release soon. So maybe do those on stream, they could be more fun. I'll think about it. But otherwise, I guess we will actually start chapter 15 next time I stream Arknight Story, which is gonna be hype. I can't wait to see what peak it is. Like, I have so many people say that like the second arc is kinda meh, and like the story is like so good at the third story arc. So I might have high expectations. I hope they won't be disappointed. But yes, bye bye.